it says, Ben, let's see your guns. What is all with all the questions with the guns? What?
I'm Scamly, aka Lil Ripperoni. My biggest anti-fan is Dane, actual fandom AF. He's a little bitch and won't debate me on my show where I threaten people and yell like a psycho. But now that I am really in a good place with Chuck Dixon acting kinda like the daddy I had until he walked out as I was 6, I want to show you the dumb AF memes and edits he's made over the last couple years. These are mostly ones not about me. Hit the other video where it's all about me. Scamly! Hit like and subscribe. I have to go clean up another Saska sister's mess in the kitchen. Goodbye. Don't talk about my dwindling sales, please.
Okay, what's more racist, calling somebody a nick or doing a lynching?
I'm out. And prove to me you can beat me without.
Nerd doc.
Get out of here! It's all about me. Scamly! Hit like and subscribe. I have to go clean up another Saska sister's mess in the kitchen. Goodbye. Don't talk about my dwindling sales, please.
You know, I could talk about why I don't like anti-fandom, but I'd rather talk about why I like the term anti-fandom, because I think it's a really good term. Anti-fandom, this movement, isn't about fandom or the media. It's about power, it's about brotherhood and ganging up. It's about feeling like you know some big secret, like you're the little guy taking on the big, shadowy, leftist, woke powers. At the end of the day, it's make-believe, it's playing pretend for adults, or, you know, man-children. Despite what any of them say, it isn't about fandom. It's contrary to the definition of fandom, which is basically liking things together as a community. The end result of all this is just a vortex of hate and misery, and it's all revolving around this missing center where the media or the community or the liking should be, and it just isn't.
Oh, she's so, it's the Sunny and Dre. Oh my God.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it.
Other people besides white dudes like Star Wars. I'm just saying, we need to be conscious of our bias.
We talked about this one thing and we make a whole video out of it. That's what we do.
Weird.
You are the real superhero.
Well, I'm built like a goddamn brick.
Is he some sort of masochist?
Yeah, what is the most recent Japanese film or at least entertainment that you enjoyed so far?
What am I thinking of? See, a lot of them would be older ones, like Old Boy, for example. I really enjoyed that one. I know it's not Japanese, but yeah, probably stuff like that. You know, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I really like that. I know it's like Chinese, I think. But yeah, like it's.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Forget it's safe.
Yeah, some characters have been written decently that are of different races and have suited up in the suit of a hero or a version of that hero. One of the more obvious is Miles Morales as Spider-Man. Miles Morales has his own background. This is far better than just simply making Peter Parker a black guy.
Talking about Peter Darker.
But Miles is an exception, make no mistake. I define everybody that's not Peter Parker as an unoriginal Peter Parker. And it will always be preferable to have another character with his own unique skill set, unique art.
In your face, bitch!
It's just shocking.
Get out of here! And the same goes with Miles Morales. He is indeed, again, Miles Morales. He's also a Spider-Man.
I really dislike the fake geek thing and the poser nerd thing. That's not what we're about.
Like, I don't get offended by shit.
Every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can
Jeremy has disavowed the Phantom Menace, but he's still in the same circle of people. They're still all on Friday Night Ties together. He's still saying the same stuff. So what is really the practical purpose of disavowing the Phantom Menace if like nothing is actually changing about what he's doing?
Oh, the reason that he gives is that apparently he saw too much like extremism within like the Phantom Menace among like things that fans were saying, and he didn't want to be like held responsible for any of that. He said, I'll be responsible for geeks and gamers, but not that.
If I was part of something that I was like suddenly like, wow, this is getting kind of more hostile and harmful than I really care for, rather than just go, I don't claim this label anymore, I would completely disconnect from the people that are associated with that label, because otherwise it would just seem kind of hollow.
The Fandom Initiative is a group of people on a mission to counter anti-woke sentiment on YouTube.
Surprise, you fuckers.
We are passionate fans of film, TV, comics, and video games. We'd love to make YouTube videos about the things we enjoy, but the culture of YouTube fandom makes this impossible, thanks to certain networks and clusters of content creators who depend on outrage, deception, and harassment to drive clicks and bring in revenue. The YouTube algorithm pushes harmful content to fans who are at risk of indoctrination by consuming repetitive right-wing rage bait videos.
Damn, dude. Yes.
Some people would like to think that like you can be like 100% objective when watching something. Like remove your bias and just critique it like the truth. You can't.
So like, what is fucking bringing all these guys together other than like, I'm mad at fucking Brie Larson?
What? If I can't be a misogynist to you, I don't know what to do with you.
I oftentimes get called a shill.
Fuck it, man. Don't be worried about that shit.
But here's the thing. My picture is not on the wall in the lobby of Marvel Studios.
More and more people are fed up with that toxic content and culture.
Honestly, it makes us sound really cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa! What's that? Oh, that's a shit. Why don't you go and subscribe to it? I dare you. I fucking dare you.
Got it. Get it. Got it. Good.
I'll eat your ass. I will. I'm combat model, optimum self-sufficiency, probably the leader. The point is have you thought about that yet? Because I'm somebody that thought I could fix this, and I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up my neighbor, how I'm going to haul him up by a chain and chop his ass up? I'll do it. My children aren't going hungry. I will eat your ass.
Yeah, well, all right. I mean, look, if you want to feed your children ass, I guess that's your fucking choice, Alex Jones. Spoiler alert, That's not the last we're gonna hear of him this episode. So yeah, got a special guest today. His name's Bob.
Oh, God damn it. I was just going to sit in the back and watch. Listen, I have a very special announcement. I am disavowing the Phantom Initiative.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change my content. You guys are still my buddies. We're still together. We're doing everything the same, exactly the same.
We've kind of been going by the initiative for a while now, anyway. So, like, I mean, if people still call us the Phantom Initiative, and it's fine. It's like whatever.
Yeah, that is true,
it's the unofficial name or whatever. I don't know, but like we're the initiative now. But look, you guys need to get ready to be hit fucking hard today with some information. I'm not even joking around. There's a big fucking deal. All right. It's a big fucking deal. Yeah, I know everybody's wanting to talk about Gina Carano and all that shit. It's like, whatever. That's just another fucking chud grift thing. That's like, I mean, it is kind of a big deal, but like, there's a bigger deal, a more substantive deal. I think it's been flying under the radar for a long time, and we have done actual investigative work. It's kind of weird that we did this, but we did, and we found some shit, and we're going to reveal it today. But just so you're ready to be hit, I want to give you like just a visual cue of like what it's going to be like whenever we hit you with this information. Okay, it's going to be like this. All right, you're that little kid, and we are that grown man that just punched that little kid. So prepare for that. All right.
I still have no context for that thing. It is so fucking weird.
Oh, well, maybe our special guest for today will explain something to us. I don't know. Morgan.
Greetings.
Co-host of the Forced Adversity podcast. So it's a bit of a crossover type episode.
We fapping today, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, we fapping every day. Just not every day do we do it on a live stream. Hey,
I mean, I'm fapping right now. So.
Ooh, spicy.
Wait.
Yeah.
Should I say that? Should I say that?
I mean, you might as well turn your camera on now,
Oh, yeah.
Turn it on.
Do you guys know that chuds are fucking disgusting?
I'm ready, okay?
Can I show you real quick like what it's like when you're just like a legit full-on chud to where you're like making shitloads of money being a chud? Apparently, you just get cockroaches on you, like this guy. He just gets cockroaches crawling on him.
Just fucking cockroaches. You know what it reminds me of is the Mike Pence
the fly
Kamala Harris debate with the fly that was just like permanently crawling on Pence.
Yeah. Do you know what I just noticed looking at that is like he's like way too casual about it. He's like, Steve, get off of me right now. I'm trying to do my live stream.
Yeah. What's his fucking roommate, right?
Yeah, he's like, Steve, come on, man. Just fucking told you about this. Get off, dude.
Reminds me, it's they're probably related to that the Vincent D'Onofrio character from Men in Black.
Yeah.
We're friends with bugs. We're friends with. We're copying human form right now.
It doesn't matter. In a few minutes, it won't even be matter. It's my favorite fucking line.
It's that they've been doing it for a few years, not a couple days.
Yep.
So it's just a bug wearing an Asman suit.
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently.
This is true. This is true. As a former southerner, that's what we call ourselves, right? Yeah. That's true. They fly. They're big. They're fucking big, guys. Like,
true.
However, there are some misconceptions I'd like to clear up about the cockroach. It's often believed that cockroaches just mean that like you're fucking inherent. That just means you're dirty, right? No, there are cockroaches that are just tree roaches, and if you have a certain type of wood, certain type of tree in your yard or on your house, they will fucking infest that tree, and then you can get them in your house no matter how clean you are. So I just wanted to put that out there.
I've learned something today.
But I don't think that's his problem. For some reason, I just don't have a feeling. It's not. All right, so we got some shit to get into. Almost too much. Okay, so unfactual facts is first of all, you're using a slur right now. Yes, I've been called out, and I have acknowledged and done my best to not say it anymore. In fact, I don't remember the last time I said it because I have worked to not say it again. So yes, that's the exact difference. Thank you for pointing that out. Unfactual facts. Pointing out the fact that I, unlike Eric July, employee of Blaze Media, I actually try to better myself and be more considerate of the language that I use, whereas he cynically uses language that he knows is going to get him clicks because he has no real talent.
Well, I mean, he does it as a virtue signal. I mean, it's the same thing as Miles Morales. It's Miles Morales. It's a virtue signal.
Mika, if you think we don't know that's you, dude, you can fuck off, man. Like, I'm not going to put up with your shit no matter what name you're under, dude. Like, sorry. Jesus Christ, that dude. Sorry.
Okay.
They start out awkward because I start them. That's why.
Oh no.
Well, someone's not in this chat to get the in the chat that I can see to get the ban button. Because on Sunday we don't play. We just hit the ban button.
Well, I just did anyway, because like he came back. He was banned under like both accounts, both mine and Bob's, and then he comes back under a different name. I saw him in here. I'm like, okay, maybe he's gonna try and be cool. Nope, he's just a little shit stirrer who fucking just likes attention. He's like a fucking toddler or something like that. But anyway.
Well, some people have nothing better to do but be just kind of shitty.
Well, I mean, what sucks about somebody like that, though, is that like he can go stretches of time where he is trying to like engage, somewhat reasonably and stuff, and then suddenly he'll just like have one of these fucking days he forgets to take his medicine or something. I don't know.
Yikes! Some people. I was more talking about that unreasonable farts guy or whatever his name is.
So I just want to point everybody to this type of comment. This is the type of person that, and keep this guy in mind, because what you're going to learn in this stream today is going to make this guy look really fucking stupid. I mean, stupider than he already does by saying these words in order, like on purpose. But yeah. You're more worried about him being gay than anybody else, man. Like, I think you're more worried about him being gay than the guy he fucks, his husband.
I mean, the fact that they bring up the fact that he's gay a lot, and it's like, okay, I don't think you're watching his content because like he never brings it up. So
really
doesn't really talk about it. No.
Yeah.
So I mean, what they think
he's brought up twice. What?
It's because they're constantly putting out gay, anti-gay misinformation, and then he responds to it and debunks it, as his channel name suggests.
Right.
And then they just like, they don't like that because he actually deals in facts and makes good points, and they're just like working off of propaganda and bullshit. So
yeah, no one talks about being gay or what have you like right-wing phobes do.
No, it's fascinating. So, like, fun fact: first couple times I streamed with him, I didn't know he was gay.
Me either.
And now that I know, it changes nothing. Just I don't
0% impact.
Like basically he's a couple of times where he's used it to make the point of like, how often do we talk about me being gay on here? And it's like basically only whenever you ask this question to point out that we don't ever talk about it.
Basically.
Anyway, so I mean that guy's gone, by the way, the unfactual shithead. They feel challenged. Look, that's why we have 115 people watching across our channels right now, because they can smell it. They can fucking smell that there's something coming, and it's a coming. It's coming. First, we got to get some. I got to deal with some Eric July business, if that's okay with you guys. First of all,
I mean, he's too hilarious to ignore.
Okay, so I was right. I've been right the whole fucking time, and I just want to say that, and I want to actually show the evidence this time. So we don't have to watch all of each of these clips, but I have them in order just as a timeline to show how right I was, and I've actually, Eric July has acknowledged that I was right, and I appreciate that. We'll get to that.
Nick, what are you doing, man?
So this is where it started. We looked at this recently a couple times. This is where the whole thing started. The fracture in Comicsgate is Dick Masterson, some troll that comes out of nowhere and fucking does a pretty decent critique of Isom, but kind of dickheaded, but a decent critique. Good points. And Eric doesn't respond well to it.
Coming up for a guy who made $3.7 million fucking dollars, that you can't take like basic story structure critique.
And real quick, I just reread ISOM just for my stream tomorrow. It is dull.
It's yeah. So then, that same night was whenever later on, all the other people were on there. You got EVS there. Prior to this, Ethan and Eric were buddies. And from what I understood, and I don't know how true this is, but I had been told that essentially Eric learned how to do the comics grift from Ethan. And, as far, I'm talking like to troll people, to get attention on yourself by being a troll, and then to, troll the SJWs and the Wokies to get attention and rile up the, the chuds so that they'll give you money, like all of that. And it would stand to reason whenever you look at, the business model. But then the problem is that Eric was better at it seems like, and actually better at getting his comic out.
Definitely that.
But one thing that he didn't consider, you're dealing with a bunch of, kind of white supremacists, man. Like, maybe not card carrying officials, but yeah, more or less they prefer their own color. They don't like it.
They have made comments to that fact in various ways, shapes, and forms over the years. So you shouldn't be surprised when they put that knife in your back.
They liked it. They don't mind. In fact, they're happy to have a token black guy, as Eric is so willing to make himself, for various organizations.
It pays the bills.
But then you make more money and you actually get your comics out. You're fucking stepping on toes now. Stepping on toes while black, So that was a mistake. And, and here's where Ethan started kind of poking at him too, saying, yeah, your shit's not, it's got some problems there. But he was still being kind of nice. Anyway, so when this really picks up right here.
But I'm just saying, it's like the outsider who's coming, like outside of the sector. Like so one of the things I keep telling people in the commentary community, the ones I still talk to, is I'm like, especially with the whole pronoun thing.
So Matt Jarbo goes off for a minute about like,
and they're seeing how idiotic
the splits that we started seeing around this time.
You can go after every
in the CHUD communities, right? Like we started using CHUDpocalypse on September 5th, I think, Bob. Was whenever we started.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that long, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, and but whenever we did that, it was basically just based almost exclusively on their numbers being down, right? But then other things started popping up after that, where we were like, oh God, there really is something happening right now. Incidents, fractures and whatnot.
Locale in the world. And they're finally starting to see that a little bit. Like some of those guys are finally starting to see it. And I'm just waiting for like the first salvo to be fired from someone to have the balls enough to call it out. But the downside to that, though, what I think is going to probably stop it from happening, is the fact that a lot of these idiots, both commentary, whatever, they share a lot of the same audience.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the biggest problem. But as soon as that dam breaks, oh God, the tears will flow.
Well, so just to, paint an accurate picture, the CHUDpocalypse has been ongoing the whole time. It's still ongoing. The CHUD Civil War is a byproduct of the CHUDpocalypse. So like you can, the Civil War broke out during the yeah.
So like if the CHUDpocalypse is Final Crisis, CHUD Civil War is one of the 87 Final Crisis spin-off books.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I was thinking like CHUDpocalypse is like climate change. And then
sure,
the CHUD Civil War is like I don't know, unprecedented giant fucking hurricanes every season or something. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like the comics tie-in though.
Yeah, it is better. It is. I mean, it's not like this is a weather podcast or something.
I mean, essentially, they're losing numbers, so the best way to try to goose up those views is to cannibalize their audiences against each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, cause that's what it's all about. Like it's when everybody's eating good, they can be buddies. They can all be friends.
Yeah.
They can all just ignore any kind of little slight differences they might have or any kind of grievances. But once things start, belts start tightening, then they kind of start to look at each other like, "Who's this? I don't like this fucking guy." Waiting on a similar situation is between Eric and Ethan because
I don't think it's going to happen. If it does, Ethan will be getting ready to push another Cyberfrog thing. But
I'm not gonna rub it in here because Jarbo's doing his own thing now, and more power to him. Good on him, But I'm just saying, one of us was right here.
Look, I'm just gonna I don't know. Ethan's probably listening. Ethan's a coward. Ethan is an absolute coward.
Okay, he was right there
he
too.
rolled-
Oh, I was just
Yeah,
gonna say, oh, and Ethan, make sure to like and subscribe to all our channels, man. Thanks for watching, man.
Yeah. Yep. And then so after this though, the good old Ripa, Eric July's sock account. We'll just call him that for now.
His
Eric
number
July's-
one fan.
His number one fan, who says refused many direct calls to come onto my stream and prove that he's not Eric July. So he just until then he is Eric July, and or his spouse or something.
And I'll go ahead and say, like, if you don't want to talk to Dayton, you can talk to me, man. Just contact one of us. We'll be happy to talk to you.
Fuck yeah. Thank you. We were glad to find you. Look, there's a bunch of channels. Anybody that's looking for more channels that are not like shitty channels, there's like a bunch of them linked in the description of whichever stream you're watching on. We're on several channels right now, but no matter what, they're all there. You've got a list that's just like our friends and his close associates and collaborators. Then there's another list that's just like channels that we like and shit. So
do cool things.
Check them out.
We got 127 people watching. I want to see a whole bunch of likes on these videos, guys.
Fuck yeah. All right. So then it goes on here to well, I mean, as far as I know, at first he was here we go. So this is that account just so smug in Matt Hope's this big content creator. He's talking about Ethan, who Eric July is cool with.
Well,
that did not go the other way.
Ripple First Goalpost is a account that's a fan of ours, right?
They seem like it, based
Yeah,
on how often
like,
they're.
what I've seen, it seems like they're fans. They show us being based and stuff. They must be fans.
He does seem to like clip you in the funniest ways that make you guys seem smart and awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a clip from a stream. It was me and Bob and DJ here in a minute that he uploaded like 2 minutes and something of this conversation, just to get to the point that I make, like, or we were right at the beginning of the clip is where we're like, hey, remember when we were the #1 detractors? And like, and this goalpost is like, oh, they're reminiscent about the good old days, and it's like, okay, yeah, that might have been a good little ding you got on us if you hadn't have left the rest of that fucking video where we fucking just completely demolish everything about Eric July. He's really bad at this. It's probably because he splits time between doing, his YouTube streams and then making a comic book, I guess, and then also doing this. He's wearing himself thin, spread himself thin.
Busy man.
Yeah, so
or
that's
woman,
just,
we don't know.
Yeah, as if people are going to start picking sides. They're not going to start picking sides. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And then here's, Ethan with some more direct. This is in October.
Well, that's not Ethan. That's All Caps Comics official page. It's not Ethan.
He's his producer.
Sure.
He says our audiences though. So,
oops.
No, he doesn't even hide it anymore. I don't think, because I think he knows.
Well, he got his old account back too. So yeah.
True. That's right.
July right now. Like he's gone from being so well loved, and remember when the detractors were just like 10 or 15 people, and we were always the ones they said, oh, these are his biggest detractors, right? Now
we were first, man. Look, we're always going to be the fucking pioneers.
We were the top four. We were the top four on the detractor list, right?
You should have cut it off there, goalpost. But man, there's like a full 2 more minutes after this where it's just not good for Eric.
Well, also, you want to thank that guy for the free advertising, right? Like, oh, if you're seeing his post about, Eric's #1 detractors, and you see that because Twitter feeds you shit, because the Twitter algorithm fucking sucks and does that. You're like, oh, those fucking guys that Eric July's #1 fan says these guys are his #1 detractors. I should check them the fuck out. Good work.
We're not anymore. I'll be honest, because once Dick showed up on the scene and him and Vito started going at him, like we just we don't have the platform size that they do. So they also are just like kind of born trolls.
Right.
They were doing a pretty good job. I was happy to sit back and watch them work too.
Let them fight.
I mean, especially now that EVS is kind of taken aside, we actually are responsible for our platforms, and he definitely isn't.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, if we're talking about Panzer Dan, if we're talking about just like online, yeah, I guess so. You know, I mean, but that's not really all of it. That's internet personalities. If you're only including those in your analysis, then you're, I don't know.
Cool
Look
story,
around
bro.
up. Yeah.
Who are saying that they're not going to support him, and that is the community that he was aligned with to sell his comic. And make no mistake, it isn't a big shock to me that because now he's burning those bridges, his sales have been dropping.
You know, and then I'm going to stop it there because there's more. Like, I actually went back and grabbed a clip from July 2022 when I first covered Eric and pointed out how, you know, I promise you after ISOM #1 comes out that each comic after that's going to dwindle in sales. And I was right about that, of course.
Well, that's just the nature of the publishing business when you're talking about like an ongoing series.
I mean,
usually
it's why they
you
keep
lose
on
about
rebooting stuff.
right. That's why they keep going back to #1s. That's why they keep remaking movies, right? Is because like, oh, okay, usually your volume 2 or your issue 2 does half as much in sales as your volume 1 does.
The point
And
that
the
I
next one after
literally made
that,
right here.
bada bing.
After issue #1 of ISOM, I guarantee you the sales are going to dip dramatically. Every issue after, it's going to fall. And the reason for that is because, I mean, for one thing, even just Marvel, DC, or whatever, #1 issues of things sell way more than anything else, which is the reason that they're always rebooting to #1 or starting new runs at #1. Aside from that, his sales are going to dip for subsequent issues because a lot of people are not buying a comic book. They're paying him to own the left. They bought a comic book, yeah, but that's not the main thing that they really wanted. They're going to get the comic. They're going to talk about it like it's the best thing ever, sure. But really, what's driving those sales at this point is sticking it to the woke mainstream comics industry or whatever it is, right? That's what's driving it. Once they've done that one time, a great many of those people will not pay for another thing from him. I'm promising you. I'm promising you. Promises made, promises kept.
And that's right on curve, right? That's exactly what you would expect.
I'll just add, if these guys actually cared about good comic books, I mean, go pick up like some recent like Wolverine or X-Men books or the recent Wonder Woman run. There's some great comic books out there. Pick up ISOM if you want to pick up some lame culture war shit.
Well, for the price too, right? It's not, you know.
Yeah.
I can pick up. Let's say ISOM was great, right? For $30, I can buy one issue of ISOM, or I can buy, I don't know, 5-6 issues. $35. Oh my God! I can pick up 5-6 issues of X-Men. I can pick up 2 trades.
Yeah.
I can pick up 3 volumes of manga. Well, fuck. That's gonna go a lot farther.
So the thing is, though, about like that, unfortunately, we won't be able to see this because, I mean, I guess good for him. Eric is smart enough to know that this is how it would go.
Right.
But if there was a 4th comic added to this list, it would be Yaira #1, and that would not do the same trend that we're seeing here. It would be pretty different, I think, based on a couple different factors. You know, and Eric knows that too because. Here in a second when this thing will start.
Eric talked about trying to put out 6 books next year. Where's that money coming from? His campaigns dropped by half within a year and a half.
Here we go.
Comic books.
Any plans for New York Comic Con? Also, Horseman sounds silly, but the design looks badass. Gonna do campaign for it or just regular release on the site store? We probably won't be doing a campaign for a very long time.
Boom. Yep. Won't be doing a campaign for a very long time. I wonder why that is. You know?
Yeah.
Wonder why.
I mean, he already hides the numbers pretty effectively, and you know, it's gonna make it easier for him to hide the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, he's gonna probably just put it on his website for sale, and then he can just say whatever the fuck he wants. Not like he hasn't been able to do that this whole time anyway, because there's literally no third party accounting for all the sales so far.
So apparently, Horseman is a chess reference. As someone who has played chess most of his life, I'm confused by it. It makes no sense to me. But sure.
Well, that's not right. Because look, I found out what it really is. The
True.
secret's out. Okay. Secret is out. Well, you have 3 different options. We're not sure which one it is, but it's one of these for sure. One of these. Okay. Pull it up here. Horseman. Obsolete name for a lecherous or promiscuous man, one who frequently rides women. See philanderer for synonymous or for synonyms. Or 4 horsemen. This is a sexual act involving a man and a woman. The man will have sex with 4 spots in this order: anus, vagina, titty fuck, and mouth. Okay. And this is the one I think it is. That's why I made it bigger. Horseman is just a man with the genitals of a horse. And I think that's what Chuck and Joe were going for here. I really do. And I'm just like,
yeah, I think Chuck just had this type of idea in his mind, and he is just focused on it. He's thinking about it nonstop, and he just wants to get a book out about it.
Yep. It's like he's so excited. Yeah. I mean, he's got a lot of repressed fucking. Sorry. But that officially, look, okay, these are real Urban Dictionary definitions. These are not things that I made up, but
they are real Urban Dictionary definitions. I love Urban Dictionary so much.
But I mean,
friend of the podcast.
Unless they tell us something different, there's no reason to think that this isn't it, right?
Nay.
Even if they do, we don't have to believe them. They lie to us all the time.
Yes.
Hog Hungman. Jesus Christ. Crikey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just it's got to be a joke, right? Like it's got to be a parody.
I do have a theory on it.
So much like early 90s Azrael Batman. It has to be Satan Ate a Crime. Yes.
No, I had a friend that was bringing up Azrael where I showed it to him. I was like, "Oh my god, you're right." To me, it just looked like a very cheap knockoff of Batman. Yeah.
What do you call the female chuds like Amala dumbass? I don't know what that means, man.
I didn't know chud was a gender specific term.
It's a non-gendered term, yeah.
Generally, we like to use non-gendered terms as much as possible. Gendered terms are kind of weird most of the time. Like, there's no real need to use a gendered term, then why do it?
They're very basic, which is fine sometimes, but don't need them all the time.
It's not going to be inclusive. It's going to be horse non-binary.
Dear.
Well, if you want to do a horse-themed superhero, you could do the Colt. There, you could do so many other names for your horse-themed.
Well, so do you want to hear what my theory is on it?
Hit it.
And so this is why you're not going to see me making a lot of jokes after the ones that I've made here today, because I think that is done completely cynically and on purpose, knowing that it's stupid.
Oh yeah.
So I was reminded of something the other day. I was watching a video about. I don't want to get into what it was about because that'll be a whole other rabbit hole. But essentially, Glenn Beck came up for some reason. The video person was talking about trolls, and I was reminded that Glenn Beck back in the day. I don't know when he stopped doing this or if he does it anymore or what, but back when he was on Fox News, he had a phone on his desk, and he would, essentially, he would be talking about some politician, Democrat politician, and he would say, "Oh, they're blah blah blah," and he'd make up some crazy shit or say some stupid claim, and if they can call this number right now, if they call me right now and tell me that that's not true, then I'll say, but, and then of course nobody ever calls. So he's like, well, they didn't call me, so I can only assume. And it's like just that really cynical fucking performative bullshit that, and considering Eric July works for him, as well as you got your Alex Stein and others who I'm sure are also equally or to some degree trolls that they're probably, I think they're hired for that reason. They're disruptors of discourse and so on and so forth. And when you think about that, and you think about Chuck Dixon, who the other day he fucking tweeted that fake screen of Nightwing saying, "Oh, I get to be a little queer" or whatever, and it was not real. But then whenever he was called out on it by Tom Taylor, very respectfully, he deleted it and didn't respond. Like they don't care, you know. So like I
No.
think this Horseman is an attempt to goose, you know, in the algorithm because everything is it's an attention economy. If you guys don't realize that, start thinking about it that way. We live in an attention economy, and everything that everybody does is to get attention. And the more they can get your attention, the more likely they are to pry your wallets open. And if they're not prying your wallets open, they're at least getting you to watch ads, and they're getting ad revenue from it. So, yeah,
they're getting clicks, they're getting traffic, they're getting people retweet them, and it just drives attention to them, and that's what they want, right?
Sandman, I think that's probably part of it. Yeah, exactly.
That might be the case. Yeah.
It's that, and also because fucking what?
Boop, boop, boop. I'll just take care of that.
Okay, I was trying to read what it said.
Oh, well, go for it.
But yeah, I think it's partly that, but I think it's also that they're trying to, get attention back on Albacore, which did not perform as well as they wanted it to. It eventually crossed $1 million, but you remember how quickly $1 million was for ISO number 1, and then less quickly for ISO number 2. But like Alphacore was, I think, a few weeks before it crossed $1 million, whereas number 1 was like within 24 hours. Number 2 was within like a week. And then the third comic, it's like, oh, and it just became clear that Chuck Dixon, an actual former comic book writer, couldn't fucking sell a comic any better than fucking Eric July, who'd never written one. Which
that's something I found shocking, because I think they did Alpcore as a campaign in the hope to see if Chuck Dixon could really goose it up a bit and see if it could at least equal ISOM 2, and it's on the exact same trajectory.
Oh,
I don't.
If you never have ill will for people, WVA Spartan, then you should not be supportive of Eric July. The only reason that we have quote unquote ill will for Eric July is because the content that he puts out is very much fucking it targets queer people, it targets all kinds of people. He's gone after. The first time I ever really covered him was about he was going after disabled people. Like, he is a piece of shit who makes harmful fucking content and puts harmful narratives out there and has a fucking audience that he tells. Essentially, his content says it's okay to be a shitty person to all these people that are like that. You can see them as less than you. They're not as good as you. Just make fun of them, exclude them, hate speech them, whatever. So yeah, I mean, your little spiel here is like, it's nice in theory, but you're applying it kind of poorly. So.
I guess my thought is, one, I don't wish Eric July ill will. I don't care what happens to him. I just wish he was a better person, right? And he could do that tomorrow with zero effort and go about his life, and it would.
I would be so happy if all these chuds just self-reflected tomorrow and came on YouTube and said, you know what, I'm just I've been terrible on this platform. I've influenced people in a terrible way. I'm going to try to do better.
Second, if you wish no one ill. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, of course, that won't happen because
right.
Money and clicks. Money.
Second, you wish no one ill will, but you're gonna go out of your way at a convention to tell a guy you think is mediocre that his book was mediocre. That's a waste of your time. Go find a comic creator at a convention you like and go talk to them. Get an autograph from them.
Hell yeah.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah, that's
Mark Brooks.
You spent money to go to a con. Go see someone you want to see who you like. What are you doing?
That's time you're never going to get back. Somebody said in my comments of my recent video, the compilation of all the stupid edits that I've done over the last couple of years. Somebody said, "Well, that's 30 minutes I'm never going to get back." And I was like, 30 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back. And I'm like, guess what? You don't get any minutes of your life back.
No.
Do something cool with it,
Right. Have some fun.
I just tell them thanks for the view.
Right. Like when I go to cons, it's not to do stuff I don't like, to play games I don't like. I'm there to have fun and do stuff I love.
Okay, well,
unless it's requested to by a fan, I usually avoid the people I don't like.
Right.
You know what? This is actually the perfect segue to the other thing that I needed to address with old goal posts over there. Because so I just off the cuff the other day on stream, I don't think it was on my stream or something, I just decided I was going to talk about something that I really wasn't planning on because it's the kind of thing that I know what kind of backlash I would get for publicizing it. And I decided just in the moment, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even care. So I talked about how I had a few weeks ago sent an email to MegaCon in Florida whenever I found out that Eric July was going to be there. And I sent some information, including, tweets, video clips of Eric July in his own words, and then, some other things that you'll see in a minute, to just kind of say, hey, this guy and his crew, they have expressed interest in violence, specifically at conventions before. And I'm just letting you know. You know what I mean? Like, keep your shit safe. I wasn't saying you shouldn't allow him there. I'm just giving them some information, and whatever they decide to do with it, which is apparently nothing, they can do with it, right? It's their thing. But I just wanted them to be armed with information. Well, old Goalpost got a video out on me about it. And now,
by the way, Goalpost, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, man.
Yeah. But I do have actually the evidence right here that I sent to them that I wanted to show you guys because I think it's relevant to, the way he frames it in his video is that I was just trying to cancel Eric July. Okay, that's the way you want to look at it. But I like to look at it through the lens of I was concerned about human beings being harmed. And here's why. All that foul shit is generally contained to the internet. Okay, fair enough. But they do carry, so it's not contained to the internet then. Right? And it's not foul shit, or why is he calling it foul shit considering the next thing you're going to see?
So you fat, out of shape, and you white. If I were you, considering that you ain't built for that level of action, I would not advise that.
What, is that a threat?
Just throwing this out there before we get started, any event that, I happen to be at one of those and you happen to be there as well, let's just make sure that we link up and we kind of chop it up about kind of some of those comments.
Don't let me go to a con and his motherfucking ass is there. He has to see me.
Just weird stalker behavior. What the fuck?
Yes.
Just to want to point this out that like Mark Brooks, eventually after like a day or so or more of dealing with this shit, actually had to go talk to the people that ran the con, and they got 2 plainclothes police officers to stand guard around him and his family, who, because of this fucking psycho who even now, like I found video where like Ethan, who was the guy that literally Gabe ran to whenever he fucking, got fired from DC, presumably for leaking the information about John Kent being bisexual. Yeah, he even Ethan thinks he's fucking nuts. Ethan doesn't want to have anything to do with him. So
that's a high bar.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, this is why I felt the need to kind of like, inform MegaCon, hey, this is just be on lookout. Because I don't want to see people hurt. Thankfully, Eric and his crew, I guess, decided not to hurt anybody. But there's all the reason right there to be at least a little bit concerned for that being a possibility. Anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's gross.
Well, that's when you're winning a conversation and doing well, when you're threatening the other person.
They have to threaten you, right? That's all they've got. That's all they have.
Yep.
Philip, it's in Florida. That's really it, I think.
Well, and talk about a con.
Huge too.
It's a big con. But talk about a con that's a good venue for shitty people. That's not a state I can go to the bathroom in.
Right.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, DeSantis.
Right? Like, how many people like myself can't go to that con anymore? Can't be safe in Florida?
Yep. I mean, you never know. Like like, something like this could happen at MegaCon sometime. You
You're
know,
just having so much fun with that.
I'm afraid.
You are fixated on that.
I'm processing my trauma with it. Okay, like
Listen, it was a fair fight. Okay.
You didn't hear the thing that kid said to me. Like, that kid has a mouth on him.
Jesus.
Anyways, so there's that, and then also.
I've been a professional comic book artist for the past 30 years, okay? Let's keep exhausting the bank accounts of a small demographic of loyal pay pigs over and over again.
Okay. Okay, you the big bad booty daddy.
All right.
You're having some fun. Yeah.
I love my drops. Love my drops. Let's see. Oh yeah, they were doing some. So one more thing about Eric Schlad. Did you guys know that he's 4'8"?
You're shitting me.
I didn't know he was that tall.
Oh God, damn it!
Let's see here. He is not he's not as tall as I would have guessed. You know, he's just not. Let me see what we got here. We've got your average. This is the people that paid to see Fandom Menace in a con. Okay, there they are. That's them.
Looks about white.
About white, yeah. I think somebody counted and said there's like maybe 4, 5, 6 visible black people that aren't white, I guess. And then sure, a lot of older people too.
And then not a young crowd.
I can smell that room. And then I think that is actually Quarter Black Garrett there, and I think that might be another one of their buddies. That's like, well, why didn't they get to be on the panel? That's poor guys. Poor guys.
Yeah, they got ripped off. Yeah.
Bricks aren't tall, Dane. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Bricks are pretty short.
That's true.
They're wide.
Eric is about 5'9",
They're a lot
5
taller
feet.
than Dimes, though. So
I see. I have a photo here that I'd like to point to say that I don't think that's accurate.
There's some photographic evidence.
Yeah. Let me find it here. Whoops. See, look, that's. I don't know, man. That is.
What I like is that how that's not remotely doctored at all.
That's not remotely shopped. No. Oh my God.
Can you imagine how funny it would be if you were going to meet him and you'd walk up and you're like, oh my God, like
I'm about to be the worst.
You almost step on him.
It's mini. It's from fucking Austin Powers. It's mini me. Oh my God.
He's coming into your heart, Lil Ripper. I don't know. I was trying to think of like a stupid theme song for him.
A jingle, yeah.
Yeah, but then that actually kind of humanizes him, I guess. So I don't want to do that. A singular brick, just an brick. The I hire Hobbit. Jesus Christ.
Damn. Damn, Bob.
Oh man.
That's why you're using the old ways.
Christ almighty. Anyway. That's all we got. That's the end of the show. No, there's more stuff, right? We got more stuff.
We got more stuff.
There's other stuff. Is there anything else that's happening?
Well, we did do some investigative work yesterday, and we actually came up with with some information. Do we want to do that now or later?
Yeah, sure. Like we can do that now, and then we can do the fun bit with galactic legal news at the end.
Okay.
I got Gina Carano too. Yeah.
That's Galactic Legal News.
Oh, okay.
I got something to share about that because I have a hot legal take on that we can get to.
Well, I don't even know where the legal standing is on that. It's like, what are you suing over?
Did we cover that Carano crap? Yeah, I guess we should cover that, right? Ed,
Yeah, you want to do that now?
Did we not send you the link? Are you ready for that? And I'm sorry if we haven't. I'm sorry if we haven't made that available to you. I feel like an asshole.
Hit him with the link.
I didn't. I'm terrible at sending out the links. So
Me too.
I've gotten used to like the main core of us all just have access to this now. So
I mean, not really. I do have a video clip about it though. We could watch if you want. Just a very brief one.
yeah, I haven't dove deep into the Vince McMahon stuff. Just some light stuff that I ended up doing live on the podcast when Bobby told me a couple weeks. The dude's a creep, but he's always been a creep.
He's always been a creep. Yeah.
So just here we go.
Here.
Come on out, you rapist!
Obviously, the Pence and Aaron Horn.
Wait a minute!
Yeah. So there's that. I guess that happened. I don't know. They do some crazy shit on that show. Not home yet. Okay.
All right. Drive safe.
Well, you got the link if we're still on and you get home.
Okay, so let's look at this. I just downloaded this earlier. I don't know what's in it except that Gina Carano talks to one of these Fox News fucking meatheads.
Oh boy.
I watched it. It's yeah.
You know, why do you think, after all of the things said and done by actors and actresses of all political stripes, you were specifically targeted?
Targeted. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
Because
why
Jeff,
were you targeted? Oh my god.
Because Jeff, things are different than other things. I don't know how many times I need to say that, but like, Vito got my disagreements with the guy for sure, but like he had a really good tweet yesterday about if he hired someone to play the Bozo the Clown in the new Bozo the Clown TV show, and then he what would he say? Like started, I think he said something about doing something to kids or some shit, like as the example or whatever, and then he fired Bozo because of that. The guy that played, like, would he Bozo be able to be able to sue him or what? And then of course people can't engage in hypotheticals, the kinds of people that want to defend her anyway, so they just like, oh, that's not even the same thing, and it's like, no, it's not the same thing. That's why it's a different example, but it is the same principle.
It's a hypothetical.
So these contracts, from what little I know about them, which isn't nothing, there are don't embarrass the boss clauses, because these media companies have a image they like to maintain, and they're not afraid to boop your snoot if you're going to make a fool of yourself publicly.
And I also want to add real fast, because like the idea that she was fired, it's kind of iffy, because it's not like they canceled the contract or anything. Her contract expired, and then it said, we're not renewing.
Right. Yep. And I just want to say that if you're somebody that's like shows up to a stream you've never been to before, and you feel like you are going to do something of value by just like posting like little half thoughts every couple of seconds and think that you're being clever, you are algorithmically poisoned, and you need to fucking go touch grass. You are fucking bought and owned by fucking libertarian rich fuckers, and you don't even know it. It's pathetic.
But before you go touch grass, be sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
You want to come on and talk to me about why I'm a coward? No?
Owned by Disney. Wow. I wish I was owned by Disney. That's some money.
That's why we're the Shillcast, because we're literally fucking, we got money from Disney. We got money from fucking Time Warner, fucking from the Communist Party of China, from fucking the Democrats. We're fucking shills, buddy. We're fucking shills.
The horseman slander. We made some jokes about it, dude. I don't think you know what slander is.
That's coming with Chuds too.
Whatever channel this guy's on, Shadow Realm him.
No, don't thumbs down the video.
I just think this is hilarious. The idea that like we're slandering Horseman. Like, I'm sorry. I just what?
Like
This concept drives me nuts.
so Waluigi, I got a fun fact for you. The like and the thumbs up and thumbs down button.
Don't tell
those
him.
are the same button. They're the same button. They do the same thing.
Don't tell him that.
They do
No,
engagement.
listen, guys, there's hate watchers watching. If you hit that downvote, it hurts.
It
Oh
hurts us
yeah,
so bad,
it
we
hurts.
cry about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is why you're the
We
professionals
might
and
get
I'm
our
the guest.
channels deleted if you hit it too much. So keep
Mhm.
on engaging in that algorithmic. I mean, hitting it. I mean,
Oh, he
no
likes
one's
the
gonna-
horseman slander, not the genus slander. Okay, those are that's
all
valid.
right.
That's a valid
That
take.
balances out. Sure.
Sorry for not seeing the nuance there.
oh, I thought you were here to defend the good name of Horseman.
Nay.
Nay. Nay, I am not. Oh my god. Okay. Hey, look, we're at an hour in right now. We got 147 watchers. You know, y'all are all awesome. Even that one, even that guy. You know, like the streams, wherever you're watching it. Dislike the stream if you want to, because it really does let us know that we need to work on ourselves and we have some improvement to do. Okay. So, what the fuck, dude? What the actual fuck? We've talked about him a little bit, Perp. Dude, I mean, absolutely.
Whoa, yeah.
Where you at, homie? Fucking DM me on the Discords or something.
Yeah, sure.
Christian Bale is Horseman. Oh, I would pay to see that. I would go see that in theaters. I'll never buy this comic book, but I'll see that in theaters.
Well, dude, like you have to take out a mortgage on your house to buy one of these comic books.
That's true.
I mean, look, I don't think that would work out. I think Vosh would be like the Horseman's lover. Anybody familiar with Vosh lore knows about his affinity for horsecocks. You know, I actually did have something about He-Man and the new Master of the Universe Revelation thing on the docket for today, but I don't even know if we're going to get to it.
Did see that.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, basically, it's this. Do you remember whenever the first part came out a couple of years ago, and all the chuds were like, "It's Kevin Smith bait and switch, and blah, it's bad, and it's woke, and blah, and it's failed."
Oh yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
You go look at the fucking ratings for that shit, and it's like through the roof. Just one of the highest rated thing maybe that Kevin Smith has ever been responsible for. You know, and then also this new part is the same thing. It's fucking highly rated. Everybody likes it and shit. And they're not talking about it. It's weird. They're not talking about it at all. And it's almost like they're cynical grifters, and it's just because it happened to catch in the algorithm the first time that they talked about it, and that they're not going to talk about it again because they really never cared about it. It's kind of weird.
Here's what I'll tell you about that Masters of the Universe series. I haven't seen it. I've seen little bits of it because my son watched through it, and he's not even a Masters of the Universe fan. He watched it and he liked it.
It's very good. I fucking really liked it quite a bit, especially the end. Like the last episode was one of the best like animated climaxes I've ever seen. It was fucking great. It had me like pumped up the whole time and shit.
I didn't even. I knew it was a thing. I couldn't even tell you where it was.
It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Sometimes they do something good.
Every so often, I hear.
You know what? I'm just gonna email Perp this dang link. All right, let's watch this fucking video and see what else she's got to say. Because like,
yeah,
you notice how it all starts out with like him just like, "Why are you the victim? And you're targeted."
Yeah.
And, you know.
All these people say all this stuff, but why are you targeted? Okay, you know that she was.
Why is it that some people? Somebody said that Trump is a bad guy, and then you say that, you know, basically using Twitter is the same thing as being a Jew in the Holocaust, and it's like I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was something along those something stupid.
Oh, that's a good question. I think maybe because I'm a bit unassuming, I am easy to work with, and I think sometimes, you know, if you asked anybody on that set, they would say, you know, I was the most non-controversial person, but I think
up until the point when she wouldn't like abide by safety mandates, I believe was part of the problem, right? Wasn't it?
I think there was something, but I will say, like, I've watched this clip, and I'll go ahead and throw in my 2 cents right now. A part of me, like, she's still awful, but a part of me almost feels sorry for Gina Carano because I feel like what's going on right now, because she's essentially suing Disney, and it seems like one of the things she's suing for is to get rehired, which is like,
Yeah,
doesn't make
That
sense.
is the first prayer for relief in her complaint
Yeah, it's
in the
weird.
complaint to the California.
But
Supreme
what I
Court.
what I suspect is she went full fledged into the right wing grift culture, not really realizing what it was, and then they just kind of used her and then dropped her, and then now she's like, "Well, the fuck am I doing?"
yeah. She
Can
she
I
feels can get back at it or something. I don't know.
can I point out something that they're doing in their video presentation here? What's the bigger okay, so when you want someone to focus on something on a visual medium, you make it the thing that's the center of focus. What's the center of focus in this? Is it her or
looks
is
like
it
Mando
the
and
Mandalorian?
looks
Well,
like
it's
Mandalorian to me.
because this is a promo reel. They're trying. That's why she
Right.
like started out by saying, "I'm really easy to work with," and you
Mhm.
know, I'm like, yeah.
Like
This is the most
No.
fucking baseless lawsuit.
No, I mean this lawsuit's gonna get laughed out of court. I don't see
Oh,
it
yeah.
going fucking anywhere. But
Well,
I do suspect like this is kind of like her going, "Wow, this is probably a bad call. Maybe I should have just deleted those tweets." It's like, yeah, no shit.
can I share the complaint because I have some funnies I want to point out.
Yes,
All
please.
right.
All right, let me
Well, before you do that, let's all fucking stand the fuck up. Okay, I want you to stand up wherever you're sitting right now and fucking give a warm welcome return to this man, this dinosaur, Little Movie Perp.
Thank you.
Oh my god, this
Thank
diaper.
you. Oh,
And I
oh,
think
thank you. Oh, this is too much. This is too
I
much.
want to go
Thank
ahead and
you.
say thank you, Perp.
What an
One of
intro.
us should have had a camera on, a live camera feed, and thank you for doing that for us.
Yeah, well, this is live. This is really me. This ain't CGI. I'm all dinosaur.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I knew it.
How's it going, chat?
Chat's fucking. They're gonna catch up to how excited they are here in just a minute. Yeah, there we go. All right, starting now. How you doing, man? What's
I'm
fucking
good.
going on?
How are you guys, man?
Pretty good, you know, considering.
I've been enjoying the streams. I've been haunting your chats every once in a while and enjoying.
Somebody told me you got your own streams going on. I haven't managed to catch
Oh yeah,
them,
I'm doing several streams. I'm doing I'm doing my own stuff, talking about the weirdo movies I watch, and then I got some with actually CJH, who's a chatter here. I didn't know that until recently. CJH, I do like this thing called the after show. We're looking for a show to go after, so we could be their after show. So that's what
clever,
Oh.
clever
so we're just
girl.
running around, going
Why
after
don't-
other
I mean-
shows, talking about those shows.
You're welcome to be our after show anytime.
Hey, you heard that, CJH? We got one.
Like, you know, we'll even do like a kick it over to you kind of thing. Probably, you know?
Yeah, we
Like,
just talk about what you guys talk about. We figured
Yeah.
that's the easiest way to hosting
just
a podcast.
just watch the stream that you just watched. Just watch it again.
Yeah, and we just talk about it. It's like, man, I really like when Dane said that. That was good.
But yeah, by the way, Turf Nation is off this week. He's got some exams going on and stuff. You know, we
Where are
miss
his
him.
priorities anyway?
Right.
Concerned about
Like-
IRL stuff? Jesus.
He's fapping off camera. That's where he is.
Yeah. So,
You know, for a while, I thought that guy was a serial killer, but he's from Sweden. And it was like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Okay.
I mean, it's Denmark.
Okay, I get it now.
But yeah.
Those are the same thing. We're
You're kidding,
American
by the way.
here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, because me and him are both Danish. See.
Oh, that's right. Of course.
Oh, sure.
Well, I thought you were full Dane and he was Danish.
No, I'm the one that's Dane-ish. Anyway,
right.
so Perp, I think I remember that you actually did know some stuff about the Gina Carano situation. Do you remember what the details were with like why she got fucking canceled?
It's not so much that I know. It's that okay. So I'm sort of in the industry. I did an
He's Michael Bay.
episode. Yeah, I'm Michael Bay. Okay, there, the cat's out of the bag. No, I did an episode of Ash vs. Evil Dead. I've had like two. I had one short film in
Oh,
Sundance
shit.
and another one in anthology.
Fucking
in
saying it out.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. I'm just saying it out loud. I don't care anymore.
All right.
I'm just saying it. I'm putting my credentials out there. So yeah, and when the whole like virus COVID thing was happening, like Hollywood was like absolutely freaking out in terms of set protocols and stuff like that. And I just thought to myself, man, if she's out there tweeting about like, oh, I'm anti-mask, oh, it's a fake virus, or whatever she did. Maybe she didn't say those exact words, of course, but like that has to make people on set uncomfortable because Hollywood was all about masking up, doing protocols, all that stuff. So it's like that had to have been a factor, even though Disney maybe didn't say it. I just kept silently thinking that while this was going on. I was like, why wouldn't it just say that? Like, you know, because that is a big deal. Like we all heard how King of Hollywood Tom Cruise freaked out when people were breaking Hollywood protocol on set. Like that's a deal. And like, you know, insurance goes up, all this stuff. I always said the example of agents calling up, you know, Disney. Hey, my actor doesn't want to work with someone that's not going to mask up if they have COVID. Blah blah blah. All that headache was just rushing through my head. Is like, you know, that had to have been a factor. Maybe they didn't say it, but
I'm
like
sure.
I just thought of it. Yeah.
I mean, it's worth saying lots of people got fired for refusing to mask up and even being anti-mask because essentially, like where I work, it was one or the other for a while. You have to mask up or get vax. You can't dance around it.
And
because
if you look
COVID's
at
a serious fucking thing.
If you look at a Pink Bunny's comment on screen here, that actually I do remember that now, and that's that's gonna do it, man. That's gonna fucking do it.
That's gonna do it. That'll get you every time.
If it's not the vaccine thing, it's the other thing that's gonna do it. You did it's like you did a twofer, and like the two things that you almost like, or the two things you shouldn't do, you did them both
at the same time.
Yep. And then you're like, well, I don't get it. Why am I facing consequences for this?
And that's
well, and I you know, she is a, if I may be so bold, there's a high chance that she's just doing this now because someone has rolled up with the money to finance it. Because the time to file this lawsuit would have been, you know, back when it happened, right?
I mean, you know, she got fired by Disney and she was used for a little bit by the CHUDs, and you know now she's not as useful. Now it seems like Elon Musk is using her. She's
right.
I think she's a useful idiot, to be blunt.
Yeah. I mean, okay, look, let's be honest here too. Like maybe there would be more of you know, more calls going her way. If I mean, look, if you've seen the season of The Mandalorian she was in, you know, she's not good. She's not very good at all. Like basically
fine. Yeah, I would say fine. I said she's passable. Yeah.
A Star Wars is basically one of the only things she could be in, because if you we're used to kind of like stilted dialogue and stuff in Star Wars.
Yeah. It goes with the flow.
Yeah, bad dialogue is a proud Star Wars tradition.
But then she goes.
George Lucas has the best dialogue ever.
She just matches with great actors who only work in green screen. It's just like the perfect matching of acting.
Then she goes and she stars in freaking Daily Wire movies. And what was that one movie that Terror on the Prairie that made a fucking whopping $800 in theaters.
Box office.
Not 800,000, not 800 million, 800.
Yep.
804 to be exact.
Oh, big money.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, that's exactly right, man. Like, it is all just we're going to see a lot of shit this year. Let's go ahead and prepare ourselves for it. We're going to just see them throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks from now until Election Day. And, you know.
There's a couple ways. I actually think it could go a couple ways because I think the whole goal is for like the media, whatever, you know, she has a whole like ecosystem of like all these like media outlets and stuff that are rooting for her, that like do all this stuff. So it's like, even if they get to something like Discovery or whatever, that is going to like feed that machine forever of stories and all that. And Disney, no matter what, isn't going to want to deal with any of this, and they're going to settle, and that's going to be looked at as a win, exactly how Ripa played it. And it's like, I'm kind of seeing this in a way of like, they know this is bullcrap, but it works for, you know, social media. It just works for social media, and that's what's important right now. Look what happened with the Trump stuff, like a fraud election and all that stuff. It still works for the media, even though every court case, everything's been completely shut down. They have nothing.
Because it turns out that the internet was a mistake.
It's the social internet was a mistake for sure. So you mentioned Trump, and I wanted to hone in on something there quick. I wonder, and this is entirely conspiratorial thinking on my part, this comes out the same day that we get the Court of Appeals ruling that Trump isn't immune from prosecution because he was president that one time. And it just sucks up so much attention, and you can do a Fox News spot and everything, and just like have that ecosystem completely tuned out from the fact that basically the second most powerful court in the country found that no, Donald Trump can be found culpable for his crimes.
Right.
Yeah. I got a little last night at another stream. I got conspiratorial too. It's like when she just came from MegaCon, she saw that current fan base, and she's like, you know what? I want that Disney fan base back.
Yeah.
And that grass looks greener.
That is possible.
Please. Because if you look at the documents, she's asking to be reinstated in the role.
Yeah,
man.
I have a proposal. So
that's not going to be uncomfortable on set if she wins. Like if she gets everything she wants, she's going to be on set. Like everyone knowing that is like, okay. All right.
So here is my compromise proposal. If Disney wants to settle and she has to be rehired, right, for whatever dumb reason, right? Mr. Disney, Bob Iger, whoever, come talk to me. I got a plan. There's a Star Wars book called The Krytos Trap, and it is about on the planet Coruscant, the Empire releases a virus and then tries to sabotage the New Republic from making a cure. And Rogue Squadron are the heroes of this story, and they have to work with an alien race of non-binary insects to create a cure for this disease. And I feel like that's right up Gina's alley. She loves all of those things, non-binary people. She loves pronouns, loves fighting plagues, really, really about doing public health care, right up her alley, a classic New Republic story for Star Wars in a new era.
Huh.
I think that's the plan.
Okay. Let's make it happen. Let's do it.
That's my compromise position. So Disney, if you want that one, that one's free. That's on me. Just like pay Mike Stackpole royalties.
Okay. So Gina Carano, I don't like any of that stuff that apparently Matt Jarbo was saying last night. McLeod, I think that's not, I mean, I haven't heard him say it myself, but if that's what he said, then I don't know how he would make those claims without any kind of evidence. It's kind of just like, yeah. I mean,
I don't pay attention to Jarbo.
She's just kind of dumb, whether or not it's because she got beat in the head a bunch of times or not. I don't know, but like, she just seems to have. She felt like she had a lot of support, I think, in the moment whenever she was, posting that shit she posted. And, that's the
right-wing social media, right?
Yep,
like,
that's the deception of social media, right? Like, it's like, oh, everybody's on my side. I can fucking get away with this. And then suddenly it's like, oh, wait, there's consequences that are like greater than that high feeling I had a minute ago.
She uses a lot of funny things in the lawsuit. It's amazing.
We might have to go over it again. Go over it more in detail on the next FAP, maybe. Because
maybe this is gotta be a FAP
if
thing.
it's public, that could be interesting. Yeah.
We could put our Superman Sunday show aside for a week and cover this on Sunday, because I think legal news is something we could dive our toe in a little bit, because there's a lot of fear around the legal system.
Well, I mean, a court of law is designed to intimidate.
You're completely correct. I have a funny story I can share about that on Sunday then. Remind me to tell my court story.
I did hear something about her naming Carl Weathers, and it's like, well, that's interesting fucking timing.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Keep that man's name out of your mouth.
The point is to put everyone's big name in there. Kathleen Kennedy was there. John Favreau's there. Yep. Is to get these people to make depositions,
Right.
And it's like, and that's what Disney does not want. So they'll settle.
They'll settle, yeah.
Right. They're totally going to settle.
Or the other thing they will do is fire off a countersuit for more money than God has, and
right.
That's the other option, right? Is just to make it so expensive that it never
See,
gets to discovery.
I disagree, Josh, because I haven't even heard of them putting anything out, and you're asking us to react to it.
Oh, I didn't even know Dane, you missed their trailer. They have a trailer, Dane.
Oh boy,
they have a trailer.
More than just the Josiah Rises thing. With the
look. I'll say this. Whenever if it gets to a point. Stream. Okay, but if it gets to a point whenever I'm hearing about it from more than like one source, because like when Rippaverse, that was the thing. It's like, okay, I'm hearing about this a lot.
That's true. I had to look for this thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I know that they produced some movie or distributed a movie that was like from Africa. Did you fucking see that?
No, I saw the trailer. I just saw the trailer. That was enough for me.
No, I mean, is that the one you're talking about though?
I have no idea where it's from. No, it's a sci-fi movie. Looks like it takes place in a couple warehouses.
Oh God,
one
no.
warehouse. Yeah.
So wait, who's the identity of the Phantom Chud? Well, let's get there.
Yeah, we should get there. I got that pulled up too.
All right, so okay, and this is not small potatoes necessarily. So I encountered a channel the other day, story time. I encountered a channel the other day, and they have some documentaries, quote documentaries. They also have some smaller videos that are like 10, 12 minutes or whatever. And it's called Nerd Wars, all caps, one word. And I was like, well, that's interesting because that's kind of stylized exactly the way that like InfoWars is done.
And
you know,
one thing
like,
I want to say is that this is only an 18K channel. This is not a channel I normally want to talk about, but there's greater context.
and also these. So when you look at the views, the accounts that they get, so like on the regular videos, the more 10, 12-minute videos, they're not getting shit. They're like not doing any better than like some of our videos, right? But then they put out like once a month. There's this documentary. It's like they're an hour to 3 hours long sometimes, and it's all about the nerds fighting wokeness and stuff. And what it really is not a documentary. It's just a bunch of clips from all the the CHUD channels, the ones that you'd expect, the ones we often talk about. And it's just compiled into several hours of propaganda about Marxism and fucking wokeness, and all the nerds have had it and all this stuff. And it's like those motherfuckers are getting hundreds of thousands of views. And I wouldn't have even really thought long about it, except for I noticed one of the thumbnails of one of them, their most recent one, I think, it's just like a very specific thumbnail, and it stuck out to me. And I was like, why do I know that image? It's just so fucking specific that so I'm gonna pull it up here and show you what I'm talking about. And this would be that thumbnail. The Nerd War on Woke, a Nerd Wars documentary. And I'm like, wow, that's the style of it and everything. It's something about it. And I couldn't think of what it was. And then finally, I did think of what it is. And it just dawned on me that there was a tweet from, let's see, August 2022 by Chrissy Mayer.
Someone who is famously not racist.
Not racist, but she has hosted the InfoWars channel before. So whenever I thought of it, I was like, oh my God, because she says, my friends are in an InfoWars documentary about nerds fighting the woke culture takeover. And she tags all the chuds, right? And then there's a link there. I remember going to that link back then, and I didn't watch it or anything, but I was like, oh God, okay, whatever. And I made note, I guess. It's tucked it away in my fucking brain hole somewhere because it remembered. That like, oh, they're doing something for, like, they must have recorded, in my mind, I was thinking how like me and Bob and Turf recorded interviews for that Brad Fay for his documentary thing. That was what I was thinking generally happened here, right? That like InfoWars had reached out to these chuds and said, hey, you want to fucking do you want to eat some ass and do some interviews for, whatever. But no, it seems like something more substantial has happened.
Mm-hmm. We did some digging last night.
We did a little bit of work. A little bit of work. So what do you got? Did you want to take it, or what you got, Morgan?
I can take it, sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna pop my screen up.
Yup.
All right. So in the link that she posted to that video, that's a dead link now.
Yeah.
Don't go nowhere. But the internet never forgets. And so we popped it in the old Internet Archive, and it took us to this channel here on the InfoWar TV. And it links to Erwin, who doesn't have a last name available, but he has 2 YouTube channels. And he is as far as we can tell, from what you found the other day, was a employee of InfoWar in some capacity. Is that correct, Dane?
Yeah, so I've got a video that we could look at if we wanted to, just to kind of get an idea. But like, Erwin is not a chud that you've seen before, probably, because I haven't, and I feel like if I had, then somebody else would have. But he seems exclusive to this channel, and yet he has access to all of these clips from all of these guys, which to me, I don't think that these guys would not allow a channel, just some random channel, to use so much of their content and then get ad revenue off of it, unless they, explicitly, endorsed and even worked hand in hand with him to make it happen. So, like, I mean, look, I'm not going to fucking bury the lead any further. The Fandom Menace chuds are working with InfoWars.
Well, and so I want to show some logos here. Here's the InfoWars logo, and here's the Nerd Wars logo that has the weird formatting. It's not quite the same, but there's enough of a similarity. And here is Irwin's other channels. And you mentioned Alex Jones working with the Fandom Menace group that gets together on that stream.
Yeah,
what were the dates they were on?
I'd have to look them up, but it was basically like one was August or September 2021, and then the next one was on their 200th episode in like June of 2022, and right after that was whenever this channel popped up.
Here's this channel, the 19th of 2022, and their second channel the day before, this Nerd Wars channel.
So, and then they don't advertise this, and I wonder why, because especially nowadays, Alex Jones maybe has a little bit of stink on his fucking reputation, and they're trying to,
and he owes a lot of money,
and they're trying to pull in people who are not suspecting, right? Like unsuspecting, probably young people, preferably for them. But like now that Alex Jones is kind of universally known as just one of the biggest scumbags in fucking modern history, because he for years pushed a conspiracy theory that children that had been murdered were not actually murdered, and that they was all a fucking it's all false flag designed to get our guns or whatever. Because he's a piece of shit.
He does know something about false flags, because here we are, he pulls this from his channel, right? It goes away into the void. But then, would you look at that? There it is, right here on the middle row. Boy, those look really familiar.
Yeah, it's and this guy's a stupid fucking chud too. And like we talked about for a minute, like maybe we shouldn't talk about him because like maybe that would just get him promotion or whatever. But then it was like, but they seem to be to some degree trying not to let it be known that they're connected to InfoWars. So that probably means we should talk about it, right? Because if they don't want it, that's fucking it's good for bad.
They
for them.
obviously have InfoWars sunglasses on, I believe.
Yeah, and he so in that video, he's wearing it in several videos. Okay,
yeah, he wears it in several videos.
I don't think it has to sound like conspiratorial either. Like we see Alex Jones like meet up with them, and it's like they all share the same thing. So it's a very simple like Alex. Oh yeah, I'll help you guys out. I'll give you guys this. I'll give you that. It's like it makes sense. It's not like it's like this shady underground thing.
Right. Yeah. It's you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's a tale as old as time.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It just is the thing that it looks like.
I mean, let's face it, this guy apparently gave a positive review to an Alex Jones video game, which means you have to be shilling for Alex Jones at that point.
You have no class and no taste.
None of these other chuds, even as far as I know, none of the other ones fucking covered the Alex Jones video game. But we have our shady associations as well. Oh damn!
Damn!
I was gonna do an intro there, but I'll wait.
Hold on, hold it.
Yeah. All right.
Are you constipated or?
Sounds like he's just juggling cassettes.
We had an intro lined up, and then it's.
Well, I mean, what it is it's kind of like what Ethan Van Sciver's doing with I think Geek Getaway. To be honest.
Oh, okay.
And Perp, I know that you had some time over there. I don't know if you still go over there or not, but like,
I still watch the content.
It's just become pretty obvious, I think, that Geek Getaway is just kind of like I don't know. He softens the image of Ethan Van Sciver a little bit, and kind of it seems like a recruiting pool, honestly.
I don't see it that way. But I think the thing is, Ethan Van Sciver is a charismatic, charming thing, so it could appear that way. I think that would happen to anyone that's sort of cordial with Ethan, that he'll just have his way with sort of the channel and the chat.
Well, I mean, if you look at the titles of the videos that get uploaded about Ethan from there and stuff, it's like either he is just like a naive fan, huge fan, and doesn't realize what Ethan's really about, or he's like completely aware and he's doing it on purpose. That's like, and I don't know which one it is. I talked about Tony the other night with the Soska sisters thing whenever I covered it, and his coverage of it is what we watched, and like I was like, damn, dude, he seemed legit, actually concerned and upset for the right reasons about what was happening with the exploitation of that girl. And I was like, okay, he won some points and some favor points there.
Yeah.
But then of course at the end he said that even worse than that is that they have the poster for the movie or whatever is like has satanic imagery, and I'm like, okay, that's not worse. That's just it's not even anything. But anyway.
Yeah, the Soska thing is very tricky. With me at least. Yeah.
So what do you know about that perp? I haven't followed that a whole ton. I know there's some weirdness with them.
I don't know much. I do like, I'm 100% against like, those seems like edgy joke tweets, all that stuff, that they did. But there was one thing, because I saw the video by Tony as well, and I thought he did a great job. It seems like they were watching a video of a making of from the character of Lucifer. By the way, I was having a blast with all these names coming up because like Lucifer Valentine's was a meme in film school for me with Slaughter Ramen Dolls and all that stuff. So I knew about that guy way back with that because I used to like love watching like all type of extreme horror films and stuff. I never got to see those. Those were like the vomiting thing is just like, okay, this is a fetish thing. It's not really a horror movie, but whatever. With the Soskas, that interview, they say their names are the angels of Black Death or
Black
something.
Angels of Hell. They don't actually. Yeah, they use pseudonyms.
They don't use. Yeah, and it seemed like there is. I understand the perspective of like, oh, they're doing that because they're ashamed and all that, but it's like I also see the perspective of like in the horror community
that the whole thing is performance.
Yes, from like it's from the take from the Elvira thing where they're like sort of a character, and then sort of and that's taken to the extreme, in the 2000s with this subculture and stuff.
I mean, I thought of that myself too, and the thing is though, that girl was a real girl, and
I understand that. Yeah, disavow. I completely agree. Yeah, that part was really messed up in the that happened in the first movie, and it's with the Soska. And I understand the arguments. Like I could see that perspective of like, oh, they had to have seen this lady like completely strung out and messed up. And it's like, yeah, maybe. Or the whole thing where it gets like, it could have been a confusion of like the whole character and that subculture thing.
Let me go ahead and introduce Ed. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
I was told PP Little would be here. I was excited for debate.
Sorry, guys. PP Little is
culture. What do you do to him?
Look, he won so much that he doesn't want to, come back a little bit too quick. He wants to give it some time.
Yeah,
like here's the thing is, it sounds like I'm defending because I do agree with like most of the major like critiques and stuff, but it's when they're getting, it's like, oh, look at I start hearing words like, oh, look at they're evil. They want to kill people. It's like, I think there's.
Okay. Well, to be clear, a lot of this commentary, other than really Tony's on that panel, was bullshit. Like a lot of those people is just fucking idiots. I'm sorry. I think I even said that. I think Tony is kind of like generally seems to. He could have better conversations.
I like Tony for the most part. I will have some disagreements, of course, but I think he does a good job with things, with incomes information. Yeah.
But there were people that were literally just like, "Oh, this is satanic and evil," and they're talking about the poster of the movie that like a fake, like a trailer. They watched a trailer. It's literally a trailer for a low budget fucking. It looks bad, and there's some gory stuff happening or whatever, like a guy getting his eye taken out. Oh shit! It's like whatever. It's a movie trailer, and they're acting like that's just as bad as the rest of it, where the Soskas are sitting there talking about how like this girl's fucking suffering is actually really good for the vibes kind of shit. Like, all this like
that's where it gets tricky, because is that the character? I think they're saying that about the character with, and again, why Lucifer Valentine, I think he's just took it too close to the sun in a way with this character thing, because they named the lady the same name as the actor, right?
Right.
The character
that's exactly. And like, but I mean,
tricky and weird.
at the very least, he did exploit that girl,
Yes,
that actual drug
absolutely.
addict girl. And then them, even if they didn't, they didn't engage with the exploitation themselves, the Soskas, they're sitting there commenting on it as in a performative way. If that's what it is, if I'm giving benefit of the doubt, they're doing a performance to pretend that it's a behind the scenes thing when they're really just also acting. But still, they're engaging with the same content and that real life girl and her real life suffering as if it's just something to fucking make a fun movie about.
Well,
and
also,
that is exploitative. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, also, Lucifer Valentine, he's been a known figure for a long time amongst like extreme cinema, communities and stuff like that. Look, I'm not trying to put a moral value on anybody's like sexual preferences or anything. Generally speaking, the type of people who do that kind of stuff, they don't come from good places. They're not, they usually, come from somewhere, and it usually comes from somewhere really dark. And what I think is funny is that like all this, like you said, Dane, performative concern and empathy towards the victim. It's like, yeah, and that is deserved for sure. But let's humanize the Soska sisters too, because look, I don't know their backstory, to be honest. I don't know much about like where how they were back then. But if you can assume that bad of the person on camera, I think it's fair to make assumptions that the Soska sisters themselves may have been under duress or under some mess up situation that we don't even know about.
Have you seen the video? Like, because this is not the only time that they've engaged in this type of content like a lot. They're directors that make kind of shocking horror. They've done lots of tweets and posts and stuff like that. They literally did do vomit porn, not porn, but like vomit, sexualized vomit performances with each other. And there's in some
that was the characters
places,
that were playing in the interview. Yeah.
In some places, I've seen them referred to as, as engaging in twincest. I don't know. They definitely have made out on camera and stuff before. I don't know how much further it's gone than that, but like I've seen people saying that it possibly has. So I don't know. There's something.
Yeah, I don't know about like the duress stuff or all that. It could, because the thing is in this sort of underground horror communities, like they run around in conventions, they meet around. It seems like the Soskas were a fan of Lucifer and Mary, right? And he took advantage of that and said like, "Hey, you want to be in my second movie?" It's like I don't automatically like. I wouldn't know if what they knew exactly what they were getting into or knew the situation between Lucifer and Amira at that point. Especially if they're just showing up for production stuff.
I just got to say this, like, hey, fucking moron. We are clearly saying what we know we have seen and is stated as a fact and is presented as a fact. And we're also saying what we don't know for sure. Let me know when Alex Jones starts doing that, you fucking idiot. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't, because the whole thing is he could be setting up like this production thing and they only see that part, even with the making of and stuff. And maybe they do see something wrong, but again, they live in this underground subculture where they're dealing with these kind of like people that aren't, they don't seem, for the most part, how general other people are. You know what I'm saying?
So the only thing that like they could do
this is tricky. That's why it's tricky for me. Sorry. Go ahead.
With all the shit that's been coming out about it in the last, couple weeks or whatever, they could make a statement on it, and they don't.
Yeah,
they could
that's
say,
true.
They could say, look, when we were younger, we did, whether it was really them, whether they were under duress, whether they were like engaging in it naively or even kind of maliciously, whatever it is, they could make some statement to kind of clear up that like this is not something that we do anymore. We whatever, and it could put some things to bed, so to speak. It could at least let people know that, hey, you hear that people are concerned about this, right? And then there's the other angle of the fact that Eric, they're just like they've up until pretty recently, they seem to be just the same old SJW wokies that Eric has always said, don't hire him, don't work with him.
Yeah. That's the funny part. That's the part I love. Like the fact that they're working on it.
Yeah.
Eric July is hilarious to me. They did that slaughter vomit calls. I think that's like To me, that's like the critique is like, come on, man, what do you do? Look at you. Like, this is so obvious.
He's like, those gay people are they're freaks, they're weirdos and stuff. And it's like, no, let's go. Let me go get my lore they're the lore masters of the Rippaverse. Did you know that? They're fucking the lore masters.
Well, have you guys seen their mainstream movies? Like, what, quote unquote, they're more mainstream movies. Like American Mary is a pretty good movie. Like, they did one really good movie and they sort of kind of coast after that. So they have it in them to tell a good, interesting story.
So on Friday, I'm going to be reviewing their Black Widow run. That's 5 issues from 2019 that they did. Apparently, it's very good, according to Eric July. I think it's the only Marvel thing he's ever said is good, or whatever.
Yeah.
But
then,
recently,
the reason why he says it's good is because they kill PDF files. Isn't that great? Like, it's like okay, like it's
wait,
like
wait. So are you guys saying that like Eric July is saying that every now and then like woke leftists, SJWs make some really good shit that he likes?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well,
he had to hire them. That's how good they are.
He liked Miles Morales before he didn't like Miles Morales, right? Like that's pretty documented at this point. Like his opinion seems to fluctuate with where the dollars are.
I think this is an interesting moment overall because to some extent, like Eric has played his hand for sure. But like from this point on, it really is just going to be the dumbest of the dumb in his fan base because anybody with like half a brain cell left,
they're gone.
They see it for what it is, man. It's crazy that he was willing to.
That's why Gino wants back at Disney.
Okay, you the big bad booty daddy.
The biggest. You don't even know.
The baddest.
I have never sat in a chair uncomfortably in my fucking life, Eric.
Apparently, he has a folding chair too, which is really
yeah.
we can a nice chair, dude.
I have the clip where you can see where. Okay, look.
That's a
I
folding
don't
chair.
want to scream that thing. The fuck.
It's like a WWE prop.
That is so there are two places you see those chairs in AA meetings and in the homes of miserable alcoholics. All right, that's just facts.
And Gen Con.
And, yeah, well, I mean, Van Dyke.
You can't have Magic players sit comfortably though; they have to be kept on their toes.
You can't sacrifice the nice furniture on them,
No.
Hey! He waxed his shoulders for fucking MegaCon. You better recognize, okay?
He makes sure to dress himself really nice for the incel crowd,
Yeah, that was a fashionable outfit he had.
But I hope you guys saw this one. I just wanted to point that out. There's a good old Gary. He apparently also has no fucking consistency with his views, because here he is, just like hanging out with some woke SJWs that have made woke SJW content.
Right.
Yep.
Well, listen, we don't know about the Soska's secret passion. Maybe they love comic books, but they love the side of comic books nobody talks about, the warehouse side of comic books. So they're excited to get Rippaverse stuff.
I think this is, again, they're in the underground, weird indie artsy scene. So I think this is some weird performance art they're doing. They're just
Well,
like, we're going to get into like this, guys.
For context about
go ahead.
For context about their wokeness and or lack thereof. So a thing happened a few years ago. I've looked into it. Like, they on Twitter, they said, so whenever the movie Rabid came out, which is the remake of a Cronenberg film that they did, apparently not a very good one, but
they gender swapped.
They gender swapped. Oh my god,
they did. They lead
but it stars Laura Vandervoort, who I met at my first comic book convention back when she was playing Supergirl in Smallville. Nonetheless, she's very, very hot. Not in the movie where she's got part of her face is disfigured and missing. But anyway, not to shame anybody that's missing part of their face. I'm sorry, but yeah. So apparently they shared some clip from the movie, and it was like a gory clip on Twitter. And Twitter thought that it was legitimately a real thing.
Oh, Twitter.
Twitter thought that it was real, and they fucking suspended her account. And
what?
you know what happens whenever somebody fucking suspends somebody's account like that, like a public figure, the right swoops in. The vultures.
And they ran to the right.
They went to the right, and then the next thing you know, they're on. I think they went on Posobiec's show or something like that, who's literally just like a step away from fucking white nationalist, if not full on. And so they kind of got pulled, I think, maybe naively in that direction. Yeah,
that's sad.
So I don't know. I was reading an article about it where people that were, it was like a queer horror blog or website where they were you know, like big fans of theirs, and then this happened, and they're like, oh no, you know. So
it's still weird how like even how Eric July phrased certain things when he said, "And I spoke to them about God," and it's like, okay, and he never really said what they said back. Like he's just
well,
like,
so
I don't know.
so the only person that I've spoken to that has had this happen has been Vito, where me and Bob spoke to him about it. Where like, you know, we asked him about, because he would go on sometimes, we'd see him on was it Newsmax or whatever, and we were like, what's up with that, dude? Why are you going on fucking Newsmax? And he's like, well, and he actually had a pretty good reason, I think. I wasn't expecting it, but like he said, so whenever him and his buddy Dick got made, you know, a lot of headlines or whatever, a lot of for protesting at the Dave Chappelle Netflix thing or whatever the hell, and they were just protesting that they think Dave is funny. You know, of course, it's just trolling, and they, you know, it inherently puts them against the people that are saying that what Dave Chappelle is saying about trans people is bad. Nonetheless, they weren't saying anything negative about trans people. They were just saying Dave is funny, whatever. And then so he got a bunch of calls. They started getting calls, basically. So whenever you get in a bunch of a spotlight on you like that, there are probably multiple entities are contacting you. You know, Newsmax, Fox News, you know, and so like the reason that he will go on there whenever they call him sometimes, because they just want a comedian to react to something, is because if it's not him, they're more than likely going to get somebody who's actually like a pretty far right fucking figure to go on and say some pretty far right shit. And so instead he just goes and he kind of fucks with them and makes some lame jokes. And, you know, watch the clip. He didn't really say anything, at least in the one clip I watched, that was
it felt like mild trolling, at least from
yeah.
club, but
And it's like, okay, I kind of actually, that's all right, fine. You know, nothing.
Like he doesn't want to push it too hard because, you know, then he just won't get invites.
Right.
But then, you know, I love it.
He wasn't reacting the way that I think they were wanting him to, for one thing, like where they're wanting him to just go off on how wokeness is ruining everything. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. No, talking about Vito. Yeah, I did not talk to Chappelle. Sorry.
Chappelle's a whole can of worms.
I'd have some things to say to him for sure, but
they're dead worms, just like the dead horse he's beating.
Yeah.
Dude, Dave Chappelle is so fucking lame these days, dude. It's such a
I know. It's like his talent has just died because like he figured out this, like, hey, I can make fun of people who are very underclass and just shit on them all day and make easy money rather than actually use my comedic genius for something good.
Well, I think he's run out of comedic genius, right?
Oh, 100%, dude. Like, you watch his early stuff, he's so full of energy, he's so focused. Like, he's always had a tendency to like meander a bit, but he's always been able to bring it home, dude. And I just feel like I don't know, man. I just feel like he ever since he came back, he's just way too comfortable. You can tell that he's not hungry, he's not trying to be great. He just knows that if he just bullshits, he's done. He barely even tries. It's lame.
So to this point, Chariot apparently said that, you know, the right. I'm not. I'll have to ask them where, you know. I mean, I agree. I think that happens. I just wonder if they have any information more specific than that. But I know that like, what's his name? Chris Raygun had said at one point that that basically he got contacted by some right wing figures. He didn't say who, and he turned them down at a certain point. But he said he can tell the ones who didn't turn them down. And man, it's just such an enticing fucking comment. I wish he would say more. I'm sure he won't.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what he was talking about there. But I mean, I think we can figure out some of them. We figured out one of them yesterday, and we're presenting it to you today. Alex Jones reached out to the Fandom Menace guys. They don't go by that anymore, I guess. But the Friday Night Tights Chuds, that crew, of which Nerdrotic is the ringleader generally, and then I think Griggs is kind of his. I think it maybe at one point they were both kind of co-ringleader, but it seems like Griggs is kind of checked out a little bit.
Yeah, good checked out, man.
Yeah, he's.
Well, it's not hitting like it used to, right? Like, and then you're so far down that dollar hole. Where do you go? Your whole content is about what you fucking hate. What do you do? Well, all the people who are watching you want to hear what you hate, and you're fucking bored of talking about it.
No, you're totally right. Like I've been reading some interviews with a lot of these guys, and in the latest, you know, interview of his own website, he says that the downside of being a YouTuber is I don't have downtime. If I am watching something, it's for the channel. If I'm playing something, it's for the channel. And like if you think about it, that means that like he only watches stuff that he can cover. Like he can't watch
Mhm.
anything outside of it, and he could only watch it with the mindset of finding every little fucking thing to nitpick. You know,
Yeah.
if these guys if they gotta pay for what they do with anything, if they're like Pound of Flesh is anything, it's just like the fucking absolute misery that they gotta live in and day out. You know.
I think there's two guys that are generally doing okay, and and that's Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker.
Yeah.
We'll see how Star Wars Theory does dive into the grift. He's got a big pool. Yeah.
I think he's gonna taper out though. I don't think there's so many people in the Star Wars sucks internet space that going that way, like you're just another voice in the crowd at that point. You don't really have anything special. And people who wanted to hear him talk about what Star Wars is doing new and interesting aren't going to get that from him anymore. So
nope.
Yep.
You're already going to lose audience there, and you're not going to pick up more.
I mean, yeah, it's a whole bunch of bullshit. Did we have anything else to talk about, or did we already hit all the things?
Oh, did
Watch
you guys
stuff you love.
Did you guys already talk about the Gina Carano Elon Musk thing?
Yeah.
Yes. You have anything to add to it?
All I'm gonna say is this. All right, like if all these guys were correct in the sense that like they are on the right side and the popular side and all that, it shouldn't take a fucking billionaire for Gina Carano like case to have any legal power. If there was any fucking stance there, if there was an actual case to be done, some fucking right wing ambulance chaser would have fucking volunteered right away to fucking do it pro bono. I don't know. I think it's funny that like they take it for such a win when for the fact that it has to like come from a billionaire has to fund this whole thing to happen. That to me is like the absolute sign of like unpopularity, being in a minority position.
Mm-hmm.
The whole complaint is just her lawyers complaining about how dare other Star Wars people say things about Trump.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble for comparing myself to Holocaust victims. Like, okay. Like, she's suing companies, but she's not really like calling out the companies at all. Like, it's all attacks on these other people or like nut picking random Twitter users off the internet. It's not, Disney said and did this. It is like, look what Mark Hamill said. Pedro Pascal supports his sister.
Right.
How dare he?
What a jerk!
He's a supporting sister. Or
So,
he's a supporting brother of his sister.
Why? I guess would be the I don't need you to answer that for me. I think you should investigate that. And a good way I think to do that is to watch the video that I have linked in. It's in every chat, whichever chat you're in, it's there. It's also on screen here. That is on Turf Nation's channel. It's a pretty solid video, I'd say.
And we even talk about how a lot of drinkers' videos are just kind of movie reviews. Surface level, sure, but like
in a lot of ways, Drinker
reviews.
the one of the least harmful ones, and in some ways he's also kind of the most just because of his platform size. But like in other ways, he's not as fucking overtly shitty and gross and as some of these other guys are on a regular basis.
Of course, he can get pretty on his live streams on his second channel.
True.
Also, I just want to say that I disagree. AWOL Thoughts, that you are a fan of Critical Drinker. I don't think Critical Drinker has any actual fans, Dane, pun unintended. But look,
no, intend your puns, coward.
You know what? You're right. Kind of. No, but listen, AWOL Thoughts. I have a little experiment for you to conduct next time you watch an Eric July video, and watch the video these guys made, because they did a really good job of laying this shit out. But I have an experiment that I would like for you to tell me. If you ever want to tell me about it, I'm all ears. But watch a Critical Drinker video and ask yourself, do you ever disagree? Do you ever disagree with Critical Drinker? And then ask yourself why. And then go back and watch whatever video you just watched, and then watch it again and pay attention to what he actually says and what he commits to.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out he doesn't actually say anything. What he does is he's wishy-washy, he's very ambiguous, and then he does a lot of suggestive editing, suggestive language, so that whenever he says, bad characters, and then for 7 seconds there's a character you don't like, your feelings, your emotions are already verified with him without him having to be specific at all.
It's much more simple than like, so okay, so man, this is such a fallacy. Like, both sides of what? Like, that if one person is just saying something that is deceptive and untrue, and then another person is saying something that's just describing a thing that how it is, that's not two equal sides of something. That's like, and if you think that they are, then that's really fucking naive and yeah, it's unfortunate. I would say, why watch it? Because you think this is a valid statement to make or a valid question to ask. That's why you should watch it.
If you want to talk about agreeing with both sides, maybe know what both sides have to say, like checking out that video.
Yeah, if you're going to be totally fair about it. If you're going to be unfair and intellectually dishonest, that's great. At least you admit it. But if you're not going to be those things, if you're going to be an honest person, you should at least, check out the other side in full, in detail.
And just real quick, I didn't say I was a fan. I said I like him.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not even sure what that means, but
I don't know what else would be considered a fan, but
yeah.
I like
Are
Marvel.
you thinking I'm a fan of things I like?
Yeah,
I like the MCU.
Like
two sides. So facts and bullshit, I guess, are two sides of the same coin. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I don't get it either. I find Critical Drinker very, very
It's
boring.
come from Yancey Street.
Yeah, the best thing you can say about him is he's very surface level and basic.
I mean, have you seen him in interviews? He just says the same thing over. He's like very boring. He's just like, oh, we need Ripley and Sarah Connor. It's like the same.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I mean, we don't mean to dogpile you. We're just trying to. We're all excited to engage with you because you seem to be engaging in good faith, and you're telling us, you're not being a dickhead, and so we're just kind of like, hey, we're excited. We don't mean to dogpile, man.
You brought up an interesting point, and
I will just say in the nicest way to this chatter, I disagree. I think there's a lot of great movies out there. He's wrong. He's just wrong.
There's always been good and bad movies.
Yeah,
right.
Always,
Yeah,
throughout
there's
history. We just
nothing.
forget the bad ones.
Look, bro,
Except it's like The Room.
Look, Critical Drinker found out a good way to take advantage of your lack of critical thinking. So the fact that you're willing to defend him to this point means that he accurately created content for someone who would fall for it, and you're that guy.
Yep.
Oh, come on, let's not be mean either.
I'm not being mean. That's facts.
Well, the thing is, I understand why people get very like, oh, what? Because it's like, oh, he said he likes them, so it's like, oh, it's like, it's like you're attacking him in a way if we attack Drinker, which doesn't. So I'm not saying anything to you. I'm saying to the chatter, it doesn't have to be that way. We just don't like.
Look, I'm gonna say you can call me mean if you want. I'll take that. But at least
no, I just said we don't have to. Be
like I'm letting him know the truth of the matter. I'm letting him know what we see and what Critical Drinker is thinking when he makes his content, because it is. You don't make content like that on fucking accident, all right? You don't clip out like 6-second clips from like 1,000 different fucking movies without intention. That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. There is a purpose behind this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I see it when he's with the panels with the other idiots, Yeah, and he has some sort of, for some reason, this more of a prestige because he actually does reviews.
Well, because he knows how to appeal to the person who doesn't actually think about what they're watching, which, let's face it, is most people. So he's a clever bastard.
Yeah, he's just boring to me.
I
agree.
Wiener,
anything.
Freaking Wiener. The only problem with your proposal is that Trump doesn't have remotely enough money to buy Disney. Like, not even fucking, like, especially now, because he's getting hit with fucking $80 million fucking lawsuits and shit. Like,
right.
But before that, like, he didn't have. It's almost certain that he's never had as much money as he's presented himself to have. He might be a billionaire, but he's not like a multi fucking billionaire. And Jesus.
The idea of Musk buying Disney is hilarious, much less Trump.
That's the thing. They're talking about Disney's going down in flames and shit. It's like, dude, they're $1 trillion company, basically. Like, they're not fucking at risk of anything. Anybody that thinks that they are is just, I don't know.
I mean, when we talk about Musk and Bezos, we're talking about like the richest single people. When you look at the wealth of like the big families, like God, I'm brain farting what a lot of them are, but like the big families are fucking wealthy beyond your
the Waltons,
the Koch brothers,
the Sacklers,
Sacklers, yes. These
pieces of shit.
These families are insanely rich.
Yeah. Well, we're about to hit 2 hours. I don't know what anybody else is feeling, but like, it's been a pretty solid show, I think. Fucking movie perp made a fucking comeback. Ed made a comeback.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Morgan's here. I don't even think we need Turf to come back, really. Like,
Aw.
no, totally kidding. We miss him. Yeah, we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at the Epic Verse thing. We are. Just give me a second here.
Yeah.
Because
I got it down there.
you don't have the thing that I want to look at too, though. Well, we'll look at that. But also, we're gonna,
okay.
Did you guys scare that guy off while I was away?
He hasn't said anything in a minute.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully
I
he has
guess-
a nice night.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
no,
whenever
I-
I
you know,
explained that, like, we weren't really dogpiling, and we just appreciated his comment that maybe
He's
that
making
wasn't something.
interesting points, and I think
Yeah.
it's good to talk about them. Yeah, no, I have no ill will towards him or anything.
No, it seems all right.
I thank him for jumping in. I think.
Boop, 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 doop, doop. 1 second here, because there's an Epic Verse thing that came out like I don't know over a year ago. That like I don't know if you guys remember this, but it's
it's wonderful. In all the bad ways. I mean,
oh,
you know,
it
and
doesn't-
I have a feeling that their stuff is just going to be boring, isn't it? Like there's good, bad, and then there's boring, bad, and I have a feeling it's just going to be boring.
Oh, it looks like a CHUD stumbled upon our thing, and he's like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just gonna say LOL and
Welcome, Dex.
You know what?
Thank you for the engagement, dude. Thank
What
you.
is
Yeah, we really
this?
appreciate it.
Is this some kind of live stream where people are talking on it? What is this new
going on?
technology?
Never seen this before.
You know what? I
Welcome
love
to the 21st century. I'm sorry you just got here. It's kind of a
Welcome.
mess.
Welcome, Pat.
Okay, you the big bad booty daddy.
Bye, Joker. Have fun with Batman.
You know what I love about these guys though is that like they come in here with this like pretentious pseudo intellectual anime villain ass fucking like take and shit, you know, like, oh, I believe you are hypocrites or all this sort of bullshit. And it's like, man, all this in service of defending grown men who sit in front of a bunch of babies' toys and cry woke. Like, that's so fucking bizarre to me. Look, I know a lot of you guys come into a lot of our channels and all that shit, thinking that this is a battle. If this was a battle, that would imply that you guys have a chance of winning. The fact that you guys watch Nerdrotic and Geeks and Gamers and not only enjoy that shit, but feel validated by it, feel seen by it. Listen, you have to be, everybody knows, everybody who sees that shit, except you motherfuckers, knows that you gotta be a miserable, lonely motherfucker to enjoy that shit.
And kind of
You're the
stupid.
motherfuckers who don't see it.
Yeah.
You guys already lost.
I mean, at the end of
But also, hey, look, no, Ed, hold on, man. Listen, if it's gonna be a battle, let's choose our sides, right? They can take their Epic Verse. Look, y'all get the Epic Verse, and let's go. Let's see. This is a trailer they released 5 days ago. It's got 2,100 views.
Uh-oh.
Jesus.
Watch out, Marvels.
They are they're fucking coming after Disney, boys.
You guys, like this is a movie studio. They got less subs than I do. Are you fucking kidding me?
I do want to stress. Like lots of you guys like to defend like Nerdrotic, saying, "Oh, you can't prove he's a bigot or anything." It's like, do you guys not understand? If I simply show the average person Nerdrotic thumbnails, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, that dude's a bigot."
Dex, we're not mad, bro. We're laughing at you, man. I know you can't fucking comprehend that fact, but like we are making fun of you.
Yeah. We think it's funny when you feel attacked by She-Hulk. That's funny. I don't know if you realize that. That's pretty funny.
Where did She-Hulk hurt you?
Yeah, that's pretty funny to us. Yeah.
Boom, boom. Chat. Y'all are killing it. Just killing it. But you know, go watch that fucking that Epic Verse trailer a few times. Maybe it'll help them out. They need it. This stream will have more views than that in like a few days.
Yeah.
Woo. Anyways, keep talking about them. Oh man, nobody's ever said anything like this before.
Very
This
original.
is just such a fucking guys. We gotta end it. Holy shit!
Oh damn!
I feel
Wow.
owned right now.
Yeah, it's
You're
funny.
original, dude.
You wound me.
Dex.
It's fun to talk about them because they're funny.
It's funny because, like, okay, whatever you say about that, you yourself are also in the place like
Right.
here, watching people you don't like. So
Right.
you call us dumb. You're calling yourself dumb in the process.
I love when they're like, oh yeah, well, Critical Drinker has over, almost 2 million subscribers. What do you? It's like, okay, but Marvel has way more than that. Like, and he's constantly talking shit on them. Disney has way more views than he does. So use your own logic, you dipshit.
Yeah, and also
Crystal
AWOL
Drinker
Thoughts,
has a hit book series.
also AWOL Thoughts. Nobody's our fucking enemies, dude. You're not our fucking enemy. If anything, I think we all have more respect for you than your average fucking dumbass detractor. Because you seem
we are actually trying to help you, man. Like we literally are.
Listen, we don't fucking manipulate you. We don't do what Critical Drinker does. We are honest. We are upfront with you. We might be a little mean, sure. But would you rather us be mean and dishonest and manipulate you? I mean, be nice and manipulate you, or would you rather us be mean and then, tell you how the game is played? Because as fucking YouTubers, we all kind of know how the game is played, dude.
Well, look, I happen to have something loaded up right here that kind of speaks to this point. Let's check it out. It'll start in a second. Sorry.
Here we go.
Any minute now. It's gonna happen. I promise. It's gonna do it.
Follow trends, although you literally say I go to what's trending before I make a video. Something I don't do.
I just created a One Piece discussion right now. I just created one for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, but I would have liked.
Did we just talk about One Piece for 5 minutes? Yes or no?
We didn't.
Yes,
One Piece was used, but we didn't talk about it.
No.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it. Don't act like that's not what we do.
I don't build a narrative. I
You
give
are an
my
absolute
opinion.
fucking.
You are
hard.
What we do.
They wouldn't give us a second's notice. We're just fucking jealous, Well, let's challenge that. How about it?
What do I have to be jealous of?
Why would I be jealous?
Fun.
These channels, for the most part, have less than 500,000 subs. That would be like getting jealous, relatively speaking, of an assistant manager or Circle K or something. If we're gonna be jealous of people that are more successful than us, why would we be jealous of these guys? I'd be more jealous of actual successful business people or some shit.
Man, I guess maybe I accidentally deleted that whole.
My life doesn't revolve around talking about what I hate and having to watch what I hate. When I don't like something, when I don't like a show or a movie or a YouTube channel, I don't watch it. And you know what I do at that time? Something the fuck I enjoy. It's great. I really recommend you try it. It's beautiful. Your life will be so much better. You'll have so much more fun. Like these fuckos on the screen, I know who a few of them are, but I don't fucking care who they are. I don't watch their shit. They're just dumb people on the internet, just like you. Just another asshole. Just like me, another asshole.
The fact that you feel that just us talking about this shit is a challenge enough to your heroes, your daddies, that you're here taking up time to say the same old shit that a million other chuds have said in the chat before you. It just proves a lot. Proves the point.
You're scared. We're winning. Just say what they say.
I mean,
you're just scared we're winning.
Talk about how all movies suck, and when they're talking about that, man, these epic verse movies or whatever they produce better be pristine.
Here's a thought.
That
most movies suck. Most movies are forgettable, right?
Yeah, that's real.
Like, how many movies come out in a year? Do you remember the next year? Oh, this movie came out and it sucked. Well, okay, that's business as usual, anyways.
No, that's the thing. These guys have such a simplistic and childish view of art in general, but specifically cinema, at least from what I can speak to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you were saying that they won't give us a second, notice or anything like that. Well, maybe they wouldn't, or maybe they literally have several times in various different ways.
Mr. Lucas says, "Hey everyone, I hope you had a good Christmas. Hey Mola, you should debate some of your haters on EFAP. It would be hilarious. Bring organized chaos on."
I accept.
Yep, he's accepted. They just haven't followed up on it because they're bitches.
I've challenged Eric July 3 times now to a debate, and he kept saying no. He challenged me. I said I will do it this weekend. And then he said, "Well, if you're not ready to do it right now, I don't want to do it at all." All right, so don't give us that shit. We tried.
Well, but then
these guys
moving
are
differently.
debating less and less now.
They're all moving differently. It's a new motto.
And look,
run out of to talk about.
I challenged Eric July to a dance off, and he accepted.
I'm built like a goddamn brick.
It's just like
you got humiliated, Dane.
I know.
I think it's just crazy because it's like you guys are complaining about people, but you're like defending people that are just complaining about companies, movies, stars, directors that wouldn't give you a second's notice. So it's
mean, you
don't
these
see
guys just
that.
complain about like gay person in franchise movie, and it's like,
Y'all-
who cares?
Y'all have fallen for this shit right here.
How do you do, fellow kids?
How fucking sad that you have fallen for that, man.
And again, I cannot reiterate this. It's not
Losing
just
your shit over Lightyear.
75% of the general population will see this shit and think the same fucking thing of you because it's fucking obvious. Unless you're the type of miserable fuck who falls for this shit.
Anyways, so let's what do we got?
You know what I remember? I remember this. Okay, I remember like whenever back in like the Gamergate days, whenever you'd go like maybe girls in video games are fine. Actually, they would call you a white knight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But like, because you're defending someone that isn't real and isn't there and doesn't care about you, but you have to be out there defending this imaginary woman. That's what this is. These guys come into your chats and on your comment sections and your social media, and they tell you how awful you are for someone who does not care that you exist.
Yeah. That's very fucking.
If we were just jealous of these guys, why wouldn't we just do the exact same thing they do? Because they all do the same exact shit.
They are, right. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Hold on, watch. I'll do it right fucking now. I'll do it right now, guys. I'll make a video right the fuck now. Hold on. Let me just get this background pulled up. All right. Because I got it.
Here we go. Here he comes.
Here we go. Oh man, Disney is so fucking woke with it. We're gonna destroy them. We're gonna destroy them by not watching movies. Well, I mean, you don't have to watch movies because I tell you what happens in all the movies. You don't gotta watch them because if you watch them, you might like it yourself, and then you might not like me because you might disagree with me. Hey, it's kind of sad if I do this by myself, but maybe if all of you guys get backgrounds like this and we all start saying the same shit, we can like fool a bunch of morons into thinking we're like this big dangerous thing.
It's a movement.
Yeah,
it's a movement.
Even though every couple of months it fractures and splinters into smaller fucking groups that all hate each other because they're all fucking grifting for the same little this increasingly small slice of pie. But look, Ed, that's pretty good, man. But like honestly, it's not very good compared to like this guy.
Get out of here.
So
here's the thing, though. If I have to choose between PP Little Side, which Ed put on a performance of there, or Little Movie Perps animated Baby Raptor, like I'm on Baby Raptor every time. Like, sorry.
You know what?
I didn't know they were against each other.
I'm always after PP.
Yeah, it's a bit of an obsession when you talk about.
PP
All
Little.
right, so, look, but maybe this trailer we're about to watch is game changer. Maybe this is gonna fucking.
Here we go. This will turn it all around.
It'll be amazing, and we'll be like, guys, they're right. All these movies now suck. This will be the new. They're going to revolutionize movies.
I mean, this thing has broken 2,000 views in 5 days. Okay,
so let's
check it out. Let's check it out.
Phoenix.
Yes.
Whoa. They're hacking into our system.
Oh shit.
Cool logo.
Production logos.
Can I tell you something? Look, I use Adobe, Creative Cloud and shit. I got all the apps and stuff. Like the most common, like it's almost like absurd how many fucking templates that there are that are fucking, computer glitch effects. Yeah. Like literally almost everything is a fucking computer glitch effect. It's absurd. All right.
Cool. Scientists. Ooh.
Oh wow,
they don't give a shit about that door.
That poor door.
You will believe in panning to the hallway.
Not the hallway.
Oh my god, did you see that hallway?
Oh my god. Okay, I had to pause it because look, it's scary.
See what was in that hallway? Nothing.
Gotta catch my breath. Hold on.
I will give. This is unironic. I will give credit that they spent money on a camera
and lights.
Yeah,
maybe.
And lights.
And they got lighting. Yeah, you know what? They got lighting. That's a good point.
And they stole the lab coats from some high school.
Review. Okay, so real quick, just to give you guys. Okay.
Oh no!
That's a large gun.
Okay, So a teaser is meant to kind of entice you to get you interested in at least watching the trailer.
There was nothing.
What is there to
I don't
be
even know what the fuck
interested
that
in?
was.
There was nothing there.
Right.
You know what it
People with
reminds
lab
me of?
coats. There was a couple bloody hands.
My
It
God.
looks like every, you know how just every year a handful of horror movies come out to fill time in just the theater schedule, right?
Yeah.
And like
They all have
you
better
can't tell them
teasers
apart.
than that.
They probably do, but it's cut in that vein of like generic horror movie. The 30th.
I think it.
I wouldn't even call it that. I would have thought this is a commercial for like the theaters, like, oh, don't forget to turn off your cell phones. Like, it's like right. It looked like
Goddamn.
You hear
That
phones
is what it
ringing in the
is,
middle
yes.
of that. Yeah.
Can I
Yeah, like
show,
you get all this creepy stuff, then the cell phone goes off.
can I show
I think it's coming from the theater.
Well, you know, actually, I think this is a very revealing trailer, right? Because the monster is invisible. You know, it's totally made up. It's totally suggested. It's called Reflection. It's like, I mean, I could see a subtext here where it's
apparently
about them making up their own.
Do you think they thought these guys have lab coats? The glitches totally works.
If we needed more production value.
No, man, scientists use computers, man. They'll get it. It works. It goes. It's on brand.
I just think
It
I just think the fact that the monster is made
Put a
up.
punch in the end too.
I just think that the fact that the monster is literally imaginary and it's called Reflection is like a couple of layers of.
How do you know that?
It's called Reflection. It said right there at the end.
But how do you know the monster's imaginary?
Well, in the trailer, you don't see it. You just hear it.
Yeah, I assume they didn't show the monster. You're telling me that they did? It was just invisible?
I don't know, man.
Oh,
It could be.
it's
We really
always
don't
a
know.
Oh my
sign-
lord.
It's a sign of great movie making when the monster's invisible.
Yeah, it was like we can't afford it. Just
No, I
make it
really
invisible.
I really want to see
We'll
this
have to
movie
sell it on the great acting.
Yeah.
Yikes. All right, folks. Well, I have to go. I have some business to take care of. So I will have to leave you all here. Nice being on with you, Bob and Perp. Nice seeing you again.
Likewise. Thank you.
Eduardo, nice first time working with you.
Yeah, same.
I know
Same to
we
you.
talked before. I don't know if you've done a stream yet, so it's good
I
to do
don't
a stream.
think
for
so,
Morgan.
yeah. Take it easy, folks. Oh,
are you gone? Sorry, I had to go to
I'm
the
still here.
bathroom.
Oh, no, I have to go.
Oh, gotcha.
So, yeah, we'll be on Sunday either talking about Superman or Gina Carano. We'll figure that out on the Fapcast.
True.
Sunday on Dane's channel.
I think we're gonna be doing a little bit of both.
A little of both. Hopefully, yeah, that'll be cool.
If I may suggest, the court, like her actual filings are out there. You could read them.
Oh, I've read it. Yeah, I've
that was what we were gonna do if we
Oh,
talk
sure,
about it.
sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, I read it this afternoon, and it was a hoot.
You can watch them embarrass themselves on YouTube like all the time.
Yeah.
You know, just saying. But you know, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to show another trailer, our trailer. That's cool.
Sure.
We played it at the very beginning of the stream, but you know, let's check it out again because why not? Look, our fucking effects are louder. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, I know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Awesome, good stuff. man.
I don't know. I think we're revealing too much of what it's about. I think we should be much more ambiguous.
More
Just
subtle.
random-
Hey, look, there's that guy again making a cameo.
I mean, we don't even have one shot of a hallway in that.
Yeah. Oh, we don't have a hallway. We don't even have a fucking plastic
Visible
light up
monster.
gun. We don't have a plastic light up gun.
Yeah.
Invisible PP little.
See what I can do. Oh man, but then then there was one more trailer that we can watch on the way out the door if you guys want to. But
good.
in the meantime, if anybody wants to promote anything or talk about anything, go for it. It's all you.
I will be streaming this weekend. I will be reacting to the making of The Last of Us Part 2. I think most of you guys know I am really not a fan of that game whatsoever. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that Saturday.
Sweet.
All right.
You're not a fan of Last of Us 2, is that right?
Hell no.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
damn.
But listen, Ed, I've seen some of his stuff he says about Last of Us 2. He actually does this critique of the game and gameplay and stuff like that.
Wait,
it's weird. I don't
you're not
know.
just
Yeah.
I could go with you if you guys want me to.
No, I thought that the whole problem was just that there was a woman with big arms or something.
Once.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, yeah, it's a sign of bad writing when you have a woman with big arms.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, but if I just sum it up really quick, I just think it's a very misguided game that simplifies one of the greatest character, probably like the first truly great, fully realized three-dimensional character in gaming, to tell its audience of grown-ass adults that violence is wrong, while also not providing an alternative to play the game that is in line with its narrative, but to resort to violence. And I also think the structure is pretentious as hell.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's just your opinion, man.
Goddamn.
That's. I mean, yeah. Is that objective though, Ed? Because you know.
Well, I say it, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
All the rules.
Objectively is the new literally, after all.
Literally, essentially.
I will be have my stream tomorrow, assuming I'm feeling well. I'm a little under weather right now. I'm hoping I feel better tomorrow. But anyways, got a whole bunch of comics to cover. Got new comic books, including World's Finest and God, I read them yesterday. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Resurrection of Magneto. I'm also going to be looking at some old comics. I'm going to be looking at Isom #1 and Cyberfrog #1, and then I'm going to compare them and ask, which is the better comic book? And also point out that modern comics are pretty much better than both of them. But you know.
Yep. Looking forward to that. And I will be. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, you're going.
No.
Let the dinos speak.
No, I was just gonna say. Okay, so I've been doing, which I haven't done for a while. I decided to just watch all the Academy Award nominated Best Pictures, man. Oh my God, did we have a stellar year? Okay.
Oh,
I had a spiritual experience with Past Lives. I thought Zone of Interest is an absolute masterpiece. Poor Things was exceptional, really funny.
Oh, I really wanted to see Poor Things. I haven't.
Oh my God, it is awesome. It's hilarious. Mark Ruffalo.
Ryan.
So yeah, I just want to say, yeah, there's great movies out there. Really great movies out there.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to say Nothing But Media. I don't know if you've hit it yet, but dude, like yesterday you were at like 985 subs. If we can get him to 1,000 right fucking now, I will show my ass on stream. No, I don't know what I'll do, but like
if we can get him to 1,000 right now, Dane won't show his ass.
I won't show anything ever again. But yeah, head over to Nothing But Media. I'll grab the link right now. But sorry,
I also just want to say, Lil Movie Perps live streams are some of the most entertaining fucking, especially if you love movies. Like it's some of the
just
most
me yelling at DC and Marvel fans for the most part.
It is. It's like it's chaotic.
I want to talk about movies. These guys, because
some of the funniest shit, dude. No, seriously, Perp, you got like one of my favorite streams to watch, man.
No, thank you.
I mean, I do hear, he's 6-7 away from 1,000 over at Nothing But Media, but I do hear pretty regularly that like, our energy was good and stuff. And I'm like, well, you don't like my energy with these other guys? And they're like, no, it's good too. But like, it was just a different energy with Perp. And it's like, okay, I see how it is. And yeah. And then I realized that they're just insulting me because you're not on my channel anymore. But no.
Oh, please. I'll be on more, man. I miss
you
it.
should be.
I miss all you guys. Yeah.
Let's see. You're gonna drop that link in the chat. Look, if 7 of y'all can't get over there and subscribe to this channel, and not only just subscribe to it just because I'm telling you to, but also check out the content, because Ryan, Nothing But Media, he is the exact antithesis of what a CHUD does, right? Like he's like actually he knows what he's talking about. He's engaging with essentially every aspect of the movie or show or whatever it is, and he's nuanced and he's detailed, and he's a smart guy. He's also not bad to look at. So there you go.
There it is.
Based.
Yeah. And me on Friday, I'm gonna be looking at those Black Widow comics. So we'll see, you
I've
know,
heard
what it
good
is.
things. I'm interested. I was thinking about that.
I keep seeing good things. Yeah. So we'll look at that. I want to see what it is that Eric July thinks is a good version of a Marvel comic. And, you know, the really what it probably is there was a transactional effect that happened there with them complimenting him and him complimenting them. And then they send him the comics and he's like, oh yeah, I like these. It's good. Because he's a transactional kind of guy.
Lots of warehouse talk in the comic.
Probably. It's like anyway. Yeah, but check out this trailer on the way out. See if it's anything that appeals to you. And until next time, take care of yourselves and one another, and peace.
For years, we've had to deal with Hollywood's woke onslaught of destructive agendas in their films.
Those are people that just want to tell stories that represent their social political views.
At Epicverse, we care about
canon and continuity,
excellent storytelling, and respect for our fans.
Respect the customer.
Things Hollywood has forgotten.
We don't want to make the same mistake as the other guys.
That changes today.
So maybe it's time for something new. Welcome to the Rippaverse.
That's why we launched Epicverse.